firm of Harris and Marang.
Would you want that job, Danny, on the selection committee?
The playoff is here.
Will you ever quit?
No! We want some more! We want some more! We want some more!
With Patrick Harris.
You smile.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football. Football's fun.
And Danny Marang.
You need a water break. Water is for cowards. Water makes you weak.
Dispensing sports justice. This is the firm of Harris and Marang. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by video only on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM. The Fan.
Hi, friends. Oh, baby, we made it. Oh, baby, we made it. Finally.
By the skin of my teeth.
To the Myrtle Beach Bowl, presented by Engine. I don't even know what Engine is. Is that like we're just shouting out cars?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
what makes your car go vroom.
Vroom. Just shout out cars.
Yeah.
All right. It's like brought to you by milk. And you're like, oh, okay, like milk.
Milk.
Just big milk.
Screw milk.
If you don't think big milk exists, you ain't paying
You're
attention.
crazy. Absolutely bonkers.
If milk could eradicate 2 ingredients in the world, I think they would eradicate oats and almonds.
I was going to say water.
You can't drink water, you have to drink milk. I don't think that would go very well. There's a Futurama episode where you can't drink, where water has now become alcohol because Bender has been multiplied so many times that he's now like
Yeah, the little tiny
microscopic,
ones, yeah.
and he has changed the chemistry makeup of water into booze. So everybody's hammered, including the newscasters. It's pretty great.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking
You know
about.
which one?
I've seen
Yeah.
it. Little million bender bots. I tell you what, I felt like I was on a bender last night, getting home at freaking midnight.
Yeah, well, again, YPs, MPs.
Ugh, man. Yeah, that's all I got.
I didn't. I did not partake in the bevies last night because I should have. Because everything I was watching on my television looked like they were partaking in the bevies.
So you're like, everybody else here is too drunk, so I'm not going to participate?
I'll be the sober guy. See, I'm learning. I drove everybody home last night.
No way.
No, like I drove the Seahawks
okay,
home
gotcha.
and the Blazers home last night.
You didn't actually.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
God, no. I already told you I don't
Yeah.
sign up for that.
Yeah, you'll pay for the Uber.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's my laziness. Whoa. Just turned on this game. It is 34-0 Western Michigan
Yeah, I think
over
it was.
Kennesaw State.
Yeah, Western Michigan scored 14 almost immediately.
Wow. Bowl season's upon us, dude.
We are in the thick of it now, baby.
It is Friday.
Starts today and goes basically until what, January 2nd? We have bowls every day.
Oh, there might be a break, something like there in between. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a big game tonight.
Is there?
Alabama, Oklahoma.
Is there?
On paper.
Is there?
On paper, it's a huge
No,
game.
There is. No.
I don't know if there's anything else. Poor NBA. Is NBA on tonight?
I mean, there are some games.
I bet
but
you nobody's watching any of that.
Let's see. Who do we have tonight? Heat, Celtics, Sixers, Knicks, Spurs, Hawks, Bulls, Cavs, Thunder, Timberwolves. Those are some decent games.
Are any of them going to take eyeballs away from Oklahoma, Alabama?
Just the basketball sickos.
Shout out to the basketball sickos. Well, it's Friday Night Basketball, man. It's on Prime Video.
Yeah, it's Thunder T-Wolves. Thunder T-Wolves, and the East game is Sixers, Knicks.
See, yeah,
So-
and the NBA, they figured it out because they have a single NBA TV game tonight, and otherwise no other national programming.
Everybody's just chilling. They know what the deal is.
And what's really tough when it comes to the Prime Video games, I bitch about this first world problem all the time, is I can't dual screen it. I can't dual screen the Prime Video and the YouTube TV at the same time.
They make that impossible.
I have to feel like they could do that with an Apple TV. Like I have an Apple TV. That's how I have all my streaming packages. That's how I navigate all my televisions. And you would have to think that there's an opportunity within there that you could run multiple apps at the same time. You can't tell me it's not a hardware or a software problem. They have the ability.
I mean, it's probably is a bit of a hardware problem because you're running two different OSs at the same time, but
Yeah, but it's still running on the same overlaying OS. You follow?
To an extent, sure.
Someone needs to get on this. I wonder if there's licensing fees involved with that too.
That's probably it.
Like Prime's like, nah, I don't want you to be able to dual screen. If you dual screen, it costs this much more.
Yeah,
Yeah, as Western Michigan
'Cause
scores again.
you got to protect your product.
Yeah,
'Cause that's what you're spending all that money for.
yeah, that's true.
Are you guys Fallout guys? TV show?
I haven't watched Fallout yet.
Oh,
I
really?
do want to watch the season 2 because I love New Vegas.
No, yeah, no, it's the first episode's out. I guess they're doing the episodic thing.
I hate it.
I'm not a fan of that.
The Pit's about to come out again, and when that comes out, like, don't episodic me, dude. I need that in my veins. Like, I might wait for the whole thing to finish and then binge it.
Yeah.
Because it takes place in a day.
Oh, that's right. It's a 24-hour period. Huh?
Yeah. So it's like, I think it's a 12-hour period, 13-hour
Hey,
period.
shout out 24 and Kiefer Sutherland though.
We didn't know how good we had it.
I mean, that was where the truly day-long episodic thing came from.
Well, there was this movie that I saw that I really enjoyed called Phone Booth with Colin Farrell.
Oh, I do remember that.
And Kiefer.
I believe Kiefer Sutherland is
Yes,
the voice,
he's the
on,
voice
the other
end of the phone.
and it all takes place in a phone booth
over like 90 minutes.
over like 90 minutes.
What's
Yeah.
the other one? There was a Johnny Depp movie too. Nick of Time.
Oh, I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, where he got set up.
That's that weird Johnny Depp phase in the middle there where he was like trying to do real movies.
Yeah, like they kidnap his daughter or something, and he has 90 minutes to like assassinate the governor or something at this appearance in a mall.
I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah, good times.
I ended up just finishing playing Fallout 4.
Mm.
I'm not a big video game guy, so if I start a video game, it takes me like 6 months to finish it.
Sure.
It was all right.
Just all right. Huh?
It was okay. Well, I love New Vegas.
Okay.
I've played New Vegas probably 3 times.
Okay.
4 times, something like that. So I'm excited to see how it translates.
Did you complete it? Like, not just beat it. Did you do everything?
No.
Okay.
I don't have the patience or the skill to do that stuff.
That's the thing with those kind of games that always got me was that my ADH brain, the squirrel shiny object thing.
Mhm.
I want to do everything at the same time.
Mm.
And then what ends up happening is I'll end up doing like 65, 70% of it all.
Yeah.
And then I never finish it.
I think I got to like 88% in Red Dead Redemption 2.
There you go. That's another one of those games I never finished.
I just can't really, I don't have time for video games, man. I just don't.
Even when I did, I just never finished them.
Yeah. I grew up in a household that I wasn't allowed to have video games. My dad once said to me, why don't you go outside and like read a book or something? Or why don't you go outside or read a book or something? So I said, I'll show you, Dad. I'll go outside and read a book.
How'd that work out for you?
Great. I'm a lot smarter for it.
Are you?
Yeah, and I'm a better parent for it too. I am. Reading is key, my friend. Understanding, reading stories and getting your brain firing and the imagination and the
I
vocabulary.
believe the phrase is reading is fundamental.
Reading is good. Good is reading.
There you go.
I know, I'm excited. This year I put together
I am so smart.
SMRT. I'm very excited this year for Christmas. I actually put together a book wish list because so often I get gifted books by people that are like, I think you will like this. And it's like, I do not want to read that at all.
Books that go up on the shelf that you never read, but hey,
Right.
you put them up there like, no, that book? That book?
Last year, somebody accidentally left the receipt in one of the books, and I just might have,
Oh, swap that out.
returned all those and had like $50 to Barnes & Noble,
Nice.
which is great because my kids read books like it's going out of style. So I didn't get any books last year, but my kids did.
Hey.
So I just flipped it, and I was happy about that.
I've got a couple books that friends have written that I haven't read yet, and I feel really bad about it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like, it's not that I don't want to. It's just that they stacked up in the backlog of books that I want to read, and I was like, this is your third. I'm sure it's really good. I've read your first 2.
Well, and I have a real problem. So there's this guy that I really like that wrote, what is that book called? It was the movie with Oscar Isaac and Natalie Portman in the Weird Area X. It's the Southern Reach trilogy. Anyway, he just wrote a new book, a 4th in the trilogy. So now it's four books.
What do they call that? A forology?
I have no idea. It's probably just a series at this point. But it's like a prequel and a sequel. So you like really need to have read the first 3 books. And the first 3 books were great. My problem is that I want to go back and read those 3 books before I read this book. So to read this book, I have to read 4 books. That feels a little daunting.
Well, you can't. I thought reading was fundamental here.
It is fundamental, but I've already read that book.
But you don't remember it?
No, I do, but I'd like to find the inert details, the minute details and stuff.
See, because then at this point it feels like homework.
Yeah, like
Which is why most everybody else hates books.
And that's the same for me when it comes to like TV shows. I mentioned The Pit, for example. Like The Pit, I'm so excited for season 2. I'm probably going to go back and watch season 1 again just to make sure I remember all this stuff. I do this with Star Wars all the time.
I do that stuff all the time.
When the Mandalorian and Grogu movie comes, it drives my wife bonkers. When the Mandalorian and Grogu movie comes out, I'm going to have to watch the 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, the season of Book of Boba Fett. I'll probably watch Ahsoka, too, just in case.
Yeah.
And, like...
Why?
Well, like with the new Stranger Things, I'm going to have to go back to when they started in 2010.
Right. Because I think it's because I want that continuous storyline.
See, this is why I guess I was lucky in the sense of when I started watching Game of Thrones, it was after the first 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, the Red Wedding at the end of season 3. And I didn't know anything about any part of it. And so I ended up having knee surgery. So, again, I was down for a while. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing this. And it was in the summertime. And I binge watched the first 3 seasons leading up into the beginning of season 4. And then after that, I was good until, the last season when everybody just said, what the hell is this?
Well, there's no material to go off of.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of like shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
Shooting from the hip. In your case, literally.
No, that was knee then.
Oh, okay.
So that was a while ago.
I just assume all of your 30 surgeries. It's like, you're like Mark Schlereth. I just assume all your 30 of your surgeries are the hips.
Yeah.
His, I assume, are his knees.
Well, see, mine's the other way. Mine is knees. It's knees first. The hips I've only had 2. It's just they were just
Massive.
Yeah. I would do all of my knee surgeries again, double, to avoid another one of those hip surgeries.
Oakley Dokley, well, it's a Friday. We got a great show for you today. It's my last show until after the holiday. I'll be back on the 29th. Danny will hold the fort down here on, the 22nd and the 23rd. We have no shows here at the Fan on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You'll be fine. I'll be back on the 29th and 30th. Danny will have those days off. And then hopefully we're back together on the 31st pending how Daniel feels after his
pending
surgery.
Surgical return.
Speaking of surgery.
Yeah. Right on cue.
Right on cue. This time it's in your face.
Yeah, in the face.
So that's kind of the holiday schedule for you. So let's take advantage of our last day together, friends. It's a Friday. There's a lot to get to. Oregon has a massive football game tomorrow that we'll definitely deep dive into in the Big Nooner. Talk a little James Madison as well and how they got here. We'll go through all the college football bowl games. We'll look at the NFL playoff previews. Web Gems is hello, Kettle. This is Pot. You are black. We'll get to that at Web Gems. But we'll start with whatever that drunken fest was last night in the NFL as the Seahawks take down the Rams in overtime. We'll go there first. This is The Firm, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
In the face! In the face!
The Oregon
10:18 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it, baby. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. Don't forget 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. Also, you can join us over on the YouTubes, youtube.com/1051 The Fan. I need a little help from you guys. I have a white elephant exchange tomorrow with the family, and I've decided my gift is a framed painting of a raccoon in a suit. So he's this like nice little dapper looking raccoon. And I would like to lean into the raccoon theme of the gift. So in there will also be trash bags. But I also need some help on what else should go in there to complete the package.
Yeah, I think you need like a stuffed panda.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. So I got to figure out where I'm going to get a stuffed panda. See what I mean? But
yeah,
keep those thoughts in. I just need some help for it.
I feel like you can get that at like the most random of places.
Like a Target?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, we go to Target probably, 8 days a week, so.
Yeah, like a Target or the old Fred Meyer.
Yeah, just like a random like.
Or even just like we have a store out by us in Tannisporn. Tannisporn is called Amazing Japan, and it's just lots of like.
Yeah, go to H Mart.
An H Mart? There's one at the mall.
I bet you they got like.
Damn, I was at the mall yesterday too. By the way, woof.
Yeah, how was that?
Woof.
Which one did you go to?
Nightmare.
Vancouver Mall. No, it wasn't a nightmare. It's just I'm looking for a white elephant gift, dude, and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I had a mall pretzel though.
Auntie Anne's or
Auntie
Wetzel's?
Anne's. I went to Auntie Anne's. I should go to Wetzel's though. I think it's better now.
Have you ever had? Well, that's not true because I've had one that's like so hard and dry that it.
Yes, I've had a bad
break.
mall pretzel.
But I mean, like when you, like, if you ever had a pretzel that's not burnt to a crisp, that doesn't slap.
Pretzels are pretty easy go to.
You know what I mean? Like especially a warm pretzel.
Yeah, they're pretty easy go to. That's why you see them at almost every American pub fare restaurant you could go to.
And you see it on the menu and you're like, no, 100 times. And then when you do get it, you're like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if we're out at like the old, Applebee's or TGI McScratchies or whatever, and they got that in the appetizer, that's an automatic for us. The pretzels.
What's the dipping sauce of choice? Are we a nacho cheese? Are we a mustard guy?
I alternate.
Okay.
I alternate as well. I'm a big stone ground mustard guy.
Mhm.
Put a little horseradish in
I
there.
alternate, just like my chicken nuggets at McDonald's. I alternate between the hot mustard and the sweet and sour.
Oh, I'm sweet and sour for life, only and forever.
Was that you that didn't, or was it Dusty that didn't know about all of the different sauces they had?
Oh, it wasn't me.
It was Dusty, I think. Yeah, because I
Like really, come on.
I brought it in with all the billion different sauces.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Did you know that there's like 12 different dipping sauces at McDonald's?
Sure. It doesn't surprise me.
I was like,
I haven't been to McDonald's in a long time. Barbecue, honey mustard, sweet and sour, ranch. I mean, there's 4 right there.
Hot mustard.
Hot mustard.
Hot mustard is the way to go.
Do they do the Rick and Morty thing still?
The Szechuan sauce.
Szechuan. See, that was just a limited time for like
Yeah.
a week, and you couldn't find it.
They've got a honey. They've got a spicy
They got
buffalo,
honey, yeah.
creamy chili.
I haven't been to McDonald's in forever.
A lot of those are pretty new. It used to just be like your barbecue, honey mustard,
Sweet and
hot
sour.
mustard, sweet and sour.
I tell you, who's got the
Ranch
sauce
and
game
honey.
on lock?
Oh, even ranch took them a while.
Oh, did it?
I believe.
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's got the sauce game on lock.
You want to know something that won't surprise you?
I'm gonna guess that Patrick doesn't go to the Chick-fil-A either.
I do not.
That's like us.
I've never eaten at Chick-fil-A, and I won't.
I have eaten, but we don't anymore.
Yeah, I do not support that.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Danny, you asked me this question when we were getting ready for the show. What game was more drunk last night, the Blazers or the Seahawks and Rams? And I told you the answer is the Seahawks Rams was like waste management drunk.
Yeah.
Like that. We're just here for a good time, and we're here to get hammed and follow up on that. Seahawks beat the Rams 38-37 in a game that looked pretty much over. I contemplated turning the channel over as the Blazer game had started to kick off and really get underway, and I contemplated. So I just pulled the Blazer game up on my iPad and then slid away with that and kept watching this game because I was like, well, you never know, probably not. And if anything, we can talk about why the Seahawks are probably fakers and not really there. Sure enough, hold my beer as the Seahawks come roaring back. And it leaves me with the question here for you, Danny. I kind of asked you before we started the show. Pete Carroll had a Sean McVay problem.
Mm-hmm.
Sean McVay had no issues with Pete Carroll and his teams. And I know it's at the end of Pete Carroll, his time in Seattle, and those teams kind of roster-wise were also not really where they needed to be. But, boy, it feels like McVay has a little bit of Michael McDonald kind of issue. These teams seem to give the Rams fits. Let's not forget, they lost earlier this year by 2 points, and Sam Darnold threw 4 picks.
I mean,
Shout out, Happy Hour, Luke Anderson.
the McDonald hire was in part because of McVay, is they wanted somebody who could counter him
And it's funny that more people aren't doing stuff like that.
in your division.
Yeah, looking around your division, and it's
Like if Mike Tomlin is there, if Sean McVay is there, if
Yeah.
Andy Reid is there, like if you've got a guy who's been there and gonna be there and not going anywhere, and they're playing a style of ball that is just the ethos of their team, find some sort of counter to it.
the longest tenured coach in the NFC North, I believe, should be Matt LaFleur.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Lions hired Dan Campbell, you're like, oh, okay. In terms of grit, passion,
Mm-hmm.
Matt LaFleur tends to be a little more reserved, wants flashy offense, etc. That matches up. But KOC, Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, Ben Johnson in Chicago, those are like, well, can we just out offense Matt LaFleur?
Mm-hmm.
To where I kind of like that thought of like, I got to beat Sean McVay. I need somebody that can do that.
And Kyle Shanahan.
And Kyle Shanahan.
So,
And they have that in Michael McDonald. And look, I think this is why I think this Seahawk team is so good.
Mhm.
Because, and how am I trying to say this? I think on paper, the Rams are better. And I think there are times with the eyeball test, the Rams are better, especially at quarterback. Matt Stafford is probably the MVP right now. And for my money, I'm totally fine with that. But what's fascinating to me about this Seahawks team is, like I said, they lost by 2 points on a game where they played like garbage. I watched that game, and the Rams were better than them in every facet of that game. Last night, the Seahawks were slightly less terrible, and they won.
Mhm.
And that rings a lot of alarms to me. Now, you can go to the Seahawks side and say, well, but they're still not firing on all cylinders. And I agree. That is a concern. The offense looked clunky at times. I thought the first half, Seattle was really in that game. And then all of a sudden, it was like, uh-oh, this is over. But somehow they're able to stick with them even when they're not playing well. And that tells me if they get hot, they can beat anybody. On the road, at home, you name it, especially at home.
And the thing about it is that Rams defense forced 2 turnovers and got to Darnold and smacked him around and knocked him around in the pocket.
Cooper Kupp had a fumble.
Yeah, I mean,
a costly one.
That Rams defense was disruptive. It was in the backfield. I think they ended up with like 8 or 9 QB hits with 4 sacks, couple tackles for loss, 2 picks, forced fumble. Like they were demonstratively better, air quotes, in all facets of the defensive game, but somehow Seattle managed to find a way to keep manufacturing points despite not turning them over, despite not getting to Stafford. I mean, Stafford's performance last night,
Clean.
450 yards, 3 touchdowns, maneuvered in the pocket, stepped up and made throw after throw after throw.
And found his guy big time.
Good.
Puka Nacua, 12 catches, 225.
Gravy. And I mean, layers that ball to Puka in overtime. It's like, oh, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Seattle marches. I mean, Darnold clutched up, man. You want to talk about, the boys in the morning, they got the Edo drop. Shove your hand down your pants, check if you got a pair.
Yeah.
Darnold did, man. Like he showed up huge, and like we can't get this far without talking about this. That 2-point conversion is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Rules are rules, man.
Both teams are walking off the field.
I will say I was surprised
Charbonneau
that they
picked it
gave
up.
it to him, but yeah, and
Charbonneau picked it up. Those
Yep,
are the rules.
exactly.
I agree with you, and this might blow up into a larger conversation than it needs to be, but this is a big fundamental problem I have with the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The rules feel like, now I could be wrong, you could go back statistically and tell me, I could be wrong, but it feels like rules are altered, changed, created in the NFL all the time that I can't remember what's legal and what's not. Sometimes I don't even know what a catch is. A catch, right? A fundamental play in football. Sometimes I don't know the letter of the law on that. And that's a big problem I have with the NFL. And I think that's why McVay says that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. That's why you're here saying that's really stupid. Michaels and Herbie are like, what is going on? Because it can be hard to
had
catch
2 or
up
3
to.
players right there that also could have scooped up that ball. And
Without
did
a
not.
doubt.
And so, Charbonnet was not exactly in a hurry to go pick up that ball, but he went and got it. And that right there was the difference maker. I did last night. I saw them. They put up a graphic on the screen about all-time records for both franchises. When leading by 15 plus points in the fourth quarter, the Rams all-time were 323-1 going into that. The Seahawks, when trailing by 15 plus points in the fourth quarter, All time, 0-172.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
And there's a couple other Ram stats that came out of that. They were teams were 79-0, and now they're now 79-1.
This is probably the best game I've seen since Rams Chiefs opening night. Remember that one? Was it opening night? It was one a couple years ago. That was like a primetime game, and it was like 48-43. This is probably the best game I've seen since then.
I mean, you just had monster play after monster play after monster play, whether it's, the toe tap on the sideline, the throw from Darnold to JSN, Stafford finding Puka 11 billion times.
Couple big runs from Kenneth Walker III.
I mean, ripping off the 55-yarder.
I mean, they're
Seattle finished almost 7 yards per carry.
If you take
80 of those yards came from two runs, the Shaheed play and then the Walker run. So again, they were able to run the ball well.
Not as much as like when I sat here yesterday, I was like, I want to see this ball run. Run the ball. I wanted it.
But they had the explosives.
And that kind of saved them from an otherwise kind of pedestrian night running the football. But I thought Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker III did everything they need to. Huge catches by JSN and Cooper Kupp on that final drive. And Sam Darnold, he did what you asked him to do.
Time to nut up or shut up.
And he did. And I give him a lot of praise for that. The most fascinating thing I have coming out of this game is these two teams are battling for the number one seed in the NFC. The Niners control this division because of the Seahawks winning that game.
Yeah.
The Niners control their destiny, and that is
dumb.
So mind-boggling to me. If the Niners win out, they win this division.
What I say to start the year, spin the chamber.
And that chamber keeps spinning. Keep spinning.
Now,
boy, I like this Seahawk team. They are fun.
Seattle does end with the Niners.
And that's why they control their own destiny. Both Seattle and San Francisco control their own destiny. The Rams might be the best team in the NFL with the MVP at quarterback, and they don't control their destiny.
Kind of wild.
Oh, man.
Because they have a Seahawks problem.
They got a Seahawk problem a little bit. You might get some wins, but they got a Seahawk problem a little bit. I am not a Hawks fan. In fact, I've banged on Hawk fans for a while over the years, but this team's fun to watch. They can be a little cardiac. I'm sure there are Hawks fans out there that this team drives you crazy. But, boy, from a non-bias watching it, they're fun.
Style points don't matter.
God.
When was the last time we had a game with two two-point conversions from a team?
No idea.
I thought it was interesting, it was the right call going for two because a tie doesn't do anything because you've lost to the Rams already. So,
and that's what McDonald said after the game. He was just kind of like, not enough time. If they get time, they march down, kick a field goal, it's over.
Yeah. So you got to go for it.
So you go for it. The Kona.
Because you need the win because a tie doesn't do you any good.
Got to have the win. And that's what he said. Yeah. You got to have the win. All right. When we come back, let's slide over out of the NFL into college football. I'm going to ask the question, what happens if Alabama loses? It's not something we always discuss. It's not something you can always count on, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday, all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Alabama, Oklahoma tonight in the first of a college football playoff. We'll go there next, but first, there's Rest with Sports.
This is the firm of Harris and Marang. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the Oregon Ducks begin what they hope to be an extra month-long run in the college football playoff. Hosting the 12-seed James Madison Dukes tomorrow at Autzen Stadium. The Ducks are 20.5-point favorites. It's a 4:30 kick on TNT and HBO Max. Our live coverage, starts at noon with Dirt, Dusty, and Anthony Newman live from Eugene. Stick around after the game for the Ducks post-game scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Schultze. The first of four first-round college football playoff games coming up this weekend is coming up this evening. Number 8 Oklahoma hosting number 9 Alabama. 5 o'clock kick on ABC and ESPN. The Sooners are 1.5-point favorites. Then tomorrow, number 7 Texas A&M 3-point favorites hosting 10-seed Miami. That is a 9 a.m. kick on ABC and ESPN, and at 12:30 on TNT and HBO Max. Number 6 Ole Miss hosting number 11 Tulane. The Rebels are 17.5-point favorites. And on the hard court, the Blazers off tonight after surviving a fourth quarter collapse and beating the Kings in overtime last night. Back at it tomorrow in Sacramento to face those same Kings. Portland now 11-16 on the season. That is 10th in the Western Conference. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Happy Friday, everybody. The college football playoff has become. The era has become, to quote the great legendary Jason Sukanik. It starts tonight. You can catch that on our sister station, 910. Alabama walks into Norman, Oklahoma today. Winner advances in the college football playoff. Your reward for winning today, you ask, Danny, is Indiana.
Have fun with that.
Have fun with that. However,
it's a lot of maroon.
However, that is a lot of maroon, red, crimson. What is the official red for Oklahoma? Because Alabama's crimson. I think Indiana's just red. But Oklahoma has that kind of almost burgundy.
Oklahoma's crimson.
Crimson.
Crimson and cream.
Crimson
are the official
and cream.
colors.
Okay. I mean, it's no crimson and gray, but whatever. Crimson and white. The question that I have for this game, because honestly, I don't know what to say about this game. Like,
interesting enough, Indiana Hoosiers official colors, crimson and cream.
Really? So we're just crimson across the board here.
Yeah, it's 3 crimson teams.
Everybody wants to be a Coug.
Which is funny because they're all crimson.
I get it.
But they're all different colors of crimson.
Right.
Because USC is also, or is a cardinal. USC is a cardinal red.
But your red is different than Stanford red.
Yes.
And Alabama's crimson is different than Wazoo's crimson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is also probably different from Oklahoma's and Indiana's.
Oklahoma's is way darker than everybody's. I don't know what to say about this game. Like what John Mateer shows up. Can Oklahoma's defense repeat a performance they did last time? Cause some turnovers? Will Alabama have any semblance of a run game? I have no idea what to say on any of that. But the question I ask is, what's the narrative if Alabama loses? That's 4 losses. That's you missed the playoff last year. That's you're one and done this year. And you got Michigan knocking on the door for Kalen DeBoer.
What's interesting is nobody seems to really care about this game, even though it's a standalone college football playoff game. Everybody's looking at it from the lens of, well, if they lose, what happens with DeBoer? If that's on the table, Kalen DeBoer, run.
Yeah, no kidding.
Leave now.
No kidding. We've been really hard on that. Like, I really am really concerned about the toxicity that is going on in the Tuscaloosa school grounds. I get it, dude. It's the impossible job.
But not only that, I don't want to give us any more credence than it's already been given, but he put out the statement, and instead of this going away, it's just getting louder.
Well, we had Danny Cannell on the other day, and I thought he brought up a great point of it's just being media driven. Now, we can always see that, but boy, this seems more. This seems more than just media driven. It seems more like the SEC doesn't want Kalen DeBoer. Alabama doesn't want Kalen DeBoer. Hell, if that's the case, then that would make me lean and say that ESPN doesn't want Kalen DeBoer there.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, well, then get him out. He can go to Michigan, and then he's Fox's problem.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, Kalen DeBoer is a problem? Look, I don't like the Huskies. That's no unknown fact. Kalen DeBoer is a damn good coach.
Yes.
And he wins big games.
Okay, Penn State job opened up. Who do they want?
They wanted Kalen DeBoer.
Michigan job opens up. Who do they want?
Kalen DeBoer. Alabama job opened up. Who do they want? Kalen DeBoer. Well, they wanted Dan Lanning. But they got Kalen DeBoer. He's always brought up.
There's a reason for that because that's how he's looked at. That's how he's viewed.
He is a very, very good coach. I think there are problems within this Alabama team that might be his fault, might not be his fault. But I don't know if you can coach your way out of a non-existent run game.
Kalen DeBoer is doing such a poor job at Alabama that they have the number two recruiting class in the country.
Be careful what you wish for, guys. Just be careful. I don't like Alabama in this game. I think it's an ugly game. Whatever the under is, hammer it.
I'm taking Alabama. It's going to be an ugly game. I'm picking Alabama.
I probably will too, just because I don't know if I can trust Venables in this kind of game. I mean, the environment will be insane. The environment will be absolutely
Oklahoma's
chaos.
the home team, and they're a 1.5 point favorite.
That's neutral field. You're a loser.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I think this game falls solely on the quarterbacks.
Yeah, and who do you trust more as a quarterback, Mateer or Simpson?
Yeah,
it's Ty.
I trust Ty Simpson. Now, big play moments, like John Mateer can bust it out, but John Mateer's got a turnover problem.
He's not only that; he's a gamer,
without a doubt.
Less quarterbacky,
100%.
It's a very, very specific vernacular.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I watched him, and we loved him for it because when you're at a small school like that, you want guys. Zevi Eckhouse was that for us this year. Is he a great quarterback? Nah, but he just makes stuff happen, and Mateer has that capability.
And he's a surgically repaired throwing hand.
But because he has that capability, we've seen it all year at Oklahoma, with or without a broken hand. He turns the ball over.
Yeah.
And it's because he's taking the risk. He's doing the Brett Favre type thing, the gunslinger mentality, and that's high risk, high reward.
And Ty Simpson does not.
Ty Simpson does not.
5 picks on the season while completing 65% of his passes.
And I think I watched a game where I saw Mateer throw 3 in a game. So how this pans out, I have no idea. I might lean with you to take Alabama. I'm going to root for Oklahoma for content purposes. I think if Oklahoma wins, then we sit here for a week and talk about what happens at Alabama. And if Kalen DeBoer,
I don't think it takes that long.
And if Kalen DeBoer were to leave Alabama,
if
what does Alabama do?
Well, here's the thing: if it's
every person currently a college coach that they call to get to Alabama, the high end people, they're all going to say no.
Yeah. If it actually is at Alabama, that it is a dire straight situation. If he loses this game, if you're DeBoer, leave.
If they start loading you up?
No. If I'm saying right now, if Alabama behind the scenes is actually signaling that if DeBoer loses this job, he's in trouble, he should leave. Because that's just going to be hanging over. Now, there's always expectations and levels of success at these schools, but if it's hinging on one game, you've already made your decision as a university. If one game is going to decide whether or not you want to go forward with a guy or not, he's not your guy.
You don't think he would be labeled as a quitter if he were to decide to leave?
I don't care. You don't want to be there.
Yeah. That's my biggest concern is
who cares what somebody thinks of you if somebody else is giving you a job?
Yeah, and Alabama to Michigan is like, okay, a step down, I guess technically.
Is it though?
Technically it is. It is. SEC versus Big Ten, you're going to take the SEC. Not by much. It's still top and top. Michigan is a slightly less better job than Alabama, but Michigan's a top 5 job in America.
I don't think Michigan's. I think they're the same job.
You think it's straight parallel?
Yeah, I think it's the same job.
A lot of work to be done at Michigan. Less work at Alabama.
Is there though?
I think so.
You've got more money in Michigan.
You got the number 2 recruiting class coming in, and you don't got whatever this Sharon Moore thing is.
That's fair.
You got a lot to clean up there. I'm calling it right now. I think DeBoer stays at Alabama, and I think it's Kyle Whittingham at Michigan. I've been saying that since the second Whittingham stepped down. I was like, this reeks of Michigan. Bring him in. Or once we heard about Sharon Moore, I was like, go get Whittingham. He'll stable the program, then go find your young guy.
Because he ain't retired.
He ain't retired. He's in the portal. He's in the portal. I would die for Kyle Whittingham.
Right?
I would literally do anything for Kyle Whittingham.
Imagine that was your coach right now at Wazoo. How good are
6 to midnight.
How good are you feeling?
Oh, I feel great because our offensive line and our defensive line are NFL players.
It's growing out, not down.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. All right, when we come back, let's stay in the college football playoff. Can Tulane pull this off? Can Tulane pull this off? College football playoff. Stick right there. 105.1 The Fan. The Fan. Coming up in hour number deuce, we'll get to some playoff previews in the NFL this weekend. The Bears could get their 11th win. It's going to take a lot of work as they take the Packers on Saturday on the game of the week, I would say. Tough to say. There's a lot of great games, but it's probably Bears-Packers as the game of the weekend. We'll have Web Gems as well, and we will definitely get into the side drunk party that was known as the Blazers Kings last night.
I'm still recovering.
I bet you are, amigos. We'll get to that in about 15 minutes. But let's continue on this college football playoff situation. Going down the sheet, you now have Tulane at Ole Miss. Pun intended, Tulane. Look, they played earlier in the season. It was a 30-point loss by Tulane. I have to imagine, we don't live in SEC country, so we probably don't hear it as loud. But I have to imagine they're looking at this game very similar to how people are looking at Oregon James Madison.
Sure.
Just like, nice little story. I think some would argue that the James Madison story is better than the Tulane story. I mean, I know Summerall got the Florida job, which is cool. And Chesney got the UCLA job, which is not as cool.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather be the coach of James Madison than UCLA. But it's got vibes like that. And I'm sure in the SEC, if you're listening to Powell or any of those idiots down there, they'll say the same thing, that nobody cares and Ole Miss will blow out. However, no Lane Kiffin. God knows what's going to happen to this roster once they are out of the playoff or once the playoff is over, however their season finishes. I wonder if the talent gap is still so large that none of that matters. Because tell you what, the team in the similar situation as Ole Miss is the Oregon Ducks. Lanning ain't going anywhere. We don't know about Dante, but there's no whispers. The NFL really wants him. The pundits really want him to go, but he hasn't said anything one way or the other.
No.
So there's no distractions. Will Stein, Tosh Lupoy, they're going to other places, but they're still coaching there. There's no Charlie Weiss Jr. drama. There's no defensive coordinator becomes the head coach and hates Lane Kiffin drama. Is that enough for Tulane to play in this game, or will they just get out-athleted?
I mean, I think they're just going to get beat. They're 17.5-point dogs. Ole Miss, despite all of the disruption, still has everybody, and they're still playing. Why? Because there's a legitimate chance that they could make a run.
Totally.
And how often do you get that opportunity?
I would love to see Ole Miss win a natty simply so LSU has to pay the bonus to Lane Kiffin. Such a stupid contract.
I mean, yeah, Lane's not going to be there, but you got your offensive coordinator.
We love Chambliss.
Chambliss is an
This show
absolute
loves
dude.
Chambliss.
Kawan Lacey's one of the best running backs in the country, not named Jeremiah Love. You're not shorthanded on anything. So there's no real reason why you can't go out there and absolutely hang crooked numbers on Tulane. Like what is the reasoning that how does David beat Goliath here? And much like JMU, I don't see it.
I don't see it either. And this is said on the YouTube chat, and I kind of agree. I think there's a better chance of JMU beating Oregon than there is of Tulane beating Ole Miss. And I think Oregon's the best team of all four of them. I think Tulane, as much as I love the American Conference and as much as I put my stakes in North Texas, obviously we saw Navy beat Army. Navy's a pretty damn good team this year. They won 10 games. I love the American Conference, but there's just something about this Tulane team that I just don't love, and I don't know what it is. And
I do.
What?
So they don't have Darian Mensah.
Yeah, maybe.
Retzloff's been good, but
he has been good.
Mensah was really good.
I'd rather have the kid from North Texas.
Messmaker?
Yeah. Although he's in the portal now. Someone's going to pay him. He'll probably go to OK State.
There are some names that are still popping up in the portal, and you're like,
I wonder if Messmaker goes to OK State.
Follows coach.
Follows Morris, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But look, Ole Miss handled business, and you get a rematch of Ole Miss Georgia again, which was one of the best games of the season. That's what I'm looking forward to. But look,
it was, and Lane had him.
Yeah,
Lane had Kirby on the ropes in Athens between the hedges, and Kirby's made it.
Ole Miss wins that game. They're a top 4 seed.
Oh, without a doubt. If they win that game, they probably jump whoever loses the Big Ten title game. I mean, Kirby is, on that note of that game and that potential rematch, Kirby has earned every dollar of his contract this year.
Do you find it interesting that Ole Miss, I know that they're 6 because of Lane and all of the things that come with that. Ole Miss's only loss in the season is at Georgia by a score.
And they dominated that game until Kirby was like, watch out, little man.
That's the only loss they have. Now, again, their schedule sucked this year, but.
I mean, they beat LSU. You know,
Yeah.
they almost beat Georgia,
And they beat Oklahoma on the road.
and they beat Oklahoma. Like, it's not Texas A&M week.
No.
I mean, Texas A&M has a road win at Notre Dame that, according to everybody who thinks Notre Dame should be in the playoff, that's a good win.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great game. I really enjoyed that game, and that kind of announced A&M on the scene.
I don't know, man.
I think there's a better chance that JMU beats Oregon than Tulane beats Ole Miss.
And I don't think the math says otherwise because the spread's tighter.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, man. You know, apparently I'm just going to mention Pernetti every day. I love Ole Miss, and I want them to be the story here. But I think it'd be super dope if Tulane pulled this off.
I know. You always want that upset. You
Yeah.
always want one of those. And this year we have the chance for two.
Mm-hmm.
So that doubles your chances. Now the chances to begin with are slim.
Yeah,
but if you're going to double them,
the
this is
ESPN
your year.
Analytics has the JMU upset I think is 11%, and Tulane's at 16%. So
okay. But I wonder if that's
you're telling me there's a chance.
But I wonder if that's 16 and the spread back to it is just the lane drama.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would think it is.
Because I mean, roster to roster, Tulane's got a better roster than JMU.
Sure. I just like the way JMU's been playing of late, and I like their coaching staff a lot better. We'll get to JMU in the Big Nooner. Speaking of their coaching staff, they got dudes everywhere now from JMU, and it's not just Signetti or Chesney.
Well, it's not just that. JMU, I mean, did you see that they're keeping the tweets going?
Yeah.
They did the 5-star, 4-star, and other.
You might as well.
I mean, JMU responded to I think it was Fox Sports had a tweet of all of the prospect rankings, the number of 5 stars on the roster, number of 4 stars, the number of others. JMU social media account quote tweeted with, "Oh man, Oregon can't keep up with the others because the below 4-star JMU are like 105.
We're smoking you in the recruiting trail.
It's like you just can't.
How many
keep up.
3 stars you got? Not as many as us.
Yeah,
get it. I love it.
But I tell you right now though, the last crop of 3 stars, those others that followed Signetti to Indiana, guess what?
They could win a natty.
They're dudes.
Dudes. We'll get to James Madison and Oregon in the Big Nooner as we get ready for the college football playoff window. Let's put a little hold on college football playoff. I'll get to that in the Nooner as well. We'll talk a little Cristobal, and can he get over the hump? What he'd have to do to change the narrative on him. I don't know if there's anything from up here in this neck of the woods, but we'll see what he can do to change his narrative on the national level. Let's get into it. The Blazers beat the Kings last night. Boy, it wasn't
Did
pretty.
they?
It wasn't pretty. Styles make fights? Question mark. No points for good behavior? Question mark. Hour number deuce coming at you next. 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, the Oregon Ducks begin what they hope to be an extra month-long run in the college football playoff, hosting the 12-seed James Madison Dukes tomorrow at Autzen Stadium. The Ducks are 20.5-point favorites. It's a 4:30 kick on TNT and HBO Max. Our coverage here on the Fan Sports Network starts at noon with Dirt, Dusty, and Anthony Newman live from Eugene, and stick around after the game for the Ducks post-game scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Schultze. The first of 4 first-round college football playoff games this weekend is tonight. Number 8 Oklahoma hosting number 9 Alabama. 5 o'clock kick on ABC and ESPN. The Sooners are 1.5-point favorites. We'll have coverage of that on 910 ESPN Portland starting at 4:30. Then tomorrow, number 7 Texas A&M, 3-point favorites hosting 10-seed Miami. That's a 9 a.m. kick on ABC and ESPN. Then at 12:30, back on TNT and HBO Max, it's number 6 Ole Miss hosting number 11 Tulane. The Rebels are 17.5-point favorites. We'll have coverage of both games tomorrow on 910 ESPN Portland starting at 9 o'clock. And on the hard court, the Trailblazers off tonight after surviving a fourth-quarter collapse and beating the Kings in overtime. Back at it tomorrow night in Sacramento to face those same Kings. Portland now 11-16 on the season. That is 10th in the Western Conference. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew Nemec, Thursday evenings at 7 after Isaac and Soup on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. The firm of Harris and Marang.
What's funny is the back actually looks pretty good. It's the front that really needs some action.
With Patrick Harris.
Boy, I'm stroking out today.
And Danny Marang.
The pucker factor turns into suction.
The college football playoff is here. 4 games for a chance at the quarterfinals.
You look at those 2 teams on paper, and they're almost equal in their schedule strength, their common opponents, the results against their common opponents. But the one metric we had to fall back on, again, was the head-to-head.
This is the firm of Harris and Marang. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, The Fan.
All right, hour number deuce here. You missed any of the first hour, you can go back and check that out on the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also check us out over on the YouTubes. If you missed Dave Riggert, he was on Dirt and Sprague this morning. He is the voice of JMU football. Nice little convo with him about the program and how they got here. So if you missed any of that, you can check it out. Big Sook will have Dan Lanning, excuse me, the head coach of your Oregon Ducks, Danny. He'll have Dan Lanning on today at primetime. If you missed any of that, you can check it out on the Odyssey app, the YouTubes, wherever. Just rewind, fast forward, except into the future, baby, because you know, that's impossible.
That's improbable, but not impossible.
Coming up this hour, we'll get to the Bears and the NFL and their big game. Can they pull it off? How they get to their 11th win, plus playoff previews all around the NFL and web gems. But let's get into this. We were talking about getting drunk playing sports last night. The Blazers were the sloppy drunk, okay? If the Seahawks were the waste management tour, the Blazers were like the club with 21-year-olds on a Saturday night.
What was crazy was that how this game started. Both teams were shooting over 60% for most of the first quarter. The Blazers ended up shooting 58%, the Kings 63%. It's 40-36 after one. And you're like,
here we go.
Holy
Buckle up.
Crap, this is a game. And then the second quarter happened, and it came to a screeching halt.
I would argue the third was kind of the same way as well.
Oh, I mean, that was the Blazers just crashing into a wall.
We've decided no longer do we play basketball.
They went from going 36 in the first, 27 in the second, 19 in the third, and it was just, I don't know what happened. The Kings could not hit anything to save their life from 3 last night. They took 19 total threes. 19.
I talk about this with you all the time. I'm used to seeing like 43, 46 threes taken in a game.
Took 45.
Yeah, and 19, even I think that's too little.
I mean, that's just, it's crazy when you really think about it. And the only guy who hit more than one was DeMar DeRozan, who was 3 of 4, who's not a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
And 2 of the ones he hit were absolutely diabolical.
Dude, he's a good player.
I love DeMar.
We talk about this Kings team all the time, man. They got good players.
I mean, Maxime Renault went out there and gave Donovan Clingan that work.
Yeah, they have good players. They're players that don't work.
No, it's the island of misfit toys. None of it really fits together. None of it really makes sense. But it doesn't matter if you don't get back in transition. If you wonder why Shaedon Sharpe wasn't playing in the overtime, it's not just a minutes restriction. It's because he was doo-doo.
Well, it sounded like Tiago said that he was that.
You ever heard of a 35-minute restriction?
I mean, maybe, yeah. If it's your calf or your leg, why can't it be?
No, absolutely not.
I don't know. It sounds like you're picking on him.
No, absolutely not. 35 minutes. If you played 35, it doesn't matter. You've played 35 freaking minutes.
But those extra 5 minutes are a lot more intense than the other 35.
I'm not even going to let you get that out. Absolutely not.
I trust Tiago in this. If he says that, I believe him. Otherwise, I think he would have said something like, we felt Donovan was the better option to win. Not throwing Shaedon under the bus, but saying, I think we feel that he is a better option. That's coach speak.
Because it wasn't Donovan they went with. It was CD and Chris that they went with.
Oh, I guess I was just looking at when the overtime started, it was Shaedon that was pulled and Donovan was there, and my bad. But regardless, whether it's Donovan or CD, dude, CD didn't have a great overtime either.
No, but what he did do was get back on defense.
So what I would argue is that even if quote unquote Shaedon was not great and that's why he got pulled, I would still rather run Shaedon out there than Sissoko. I would. Because if they're both going to play like garbage, I'd rather take the shot on my $90 million guy.
No, they went with a guy who was getting back on defense. That's the issue. Because it wasn't their offense they scored 134 points. Now, what's crazy is in the overtime, there was 37 total points. That's
a big 5 minutes.
That's a big overtime.
That's a big 5 minutes. I mean, there were shooting woes across the board for the Blazers here. Jeremy Grant had a rough night shooting, but to your point, as we talked before the show, he filled in the stat sheet in other places, was still a contributor.
He led them in rebounding.
I was a little disappointed in Donovan on the boards. Remember we talked yesterday? This is a game where he could.
Yeah, you actually got it right on the points. I was
like,
this is a game he should work on the glass.
If you can give me 19, 20 points and give me 11 boards in this game, you're perfect. And he finishes with 8 boards. And 8 boards is still great. And
5 are more offensive. But on the defensive glass, man, I mean, the Kings, a team is not that big. The lineups they were playing were not that big. And the Kings beat them on the glass. Now, the Blazers got, 11 more shots up, so there's a little bit more frequency in there. But the Kings were able to get in this game without making threes because they hit their free throws. Good God, Blazers.
Please.
So many missed free throws. Donovan, 5 of 13. Just
it's not so many free throws. It's
12. 12. They shot 63% from the free throw line.
Understood.
That is bad.
It's mostly Donovan.
Yes.
Sharpe is only 0 for 2. Denny was 10 of 12. But Jeremy's 3 of 3. Tumani's 2 of 2. Chris Murray's 1 of 1. It's really just Donovan putting that stat line. So I wouldn't say the team needs to shoot better free throws. I would say Donovan Clingan, you need to shoot better
Donovan
free throws.
and Shaedon missing the 2.
It's tough. 7-footers, I mean, why did we create Hack-a-Shack? Because big guys are notoriously not great free throw shooters.
Unfortunately, horribly timed turnovers.
Especially in overtime.
Well, Shea had 2 in the fourth quarter that were just like, and
Sissoko had some bad ones.
And then
too.
there was the inbound twice.
And Denny had one that led to a turn. Wasn't technically a turnover, but led to a turnover. The biggest, craziest thing for me, other than the Blazers peeing down their legs with shorts on, was honestly the call that bailed them out. I was talking with the Sunrise guys.
It should not have been a foul.
I was like,
should not have been a foul.
Did Denny just get a superstar call?
Yes, that's exactly what
Is that what just happened here?
Yeah.
I mean, cool, good for Denny that he's getting those calls right now. It was a bad call.
Oh, they should not have gotten that. And look, I don't want to sit here and just poop on Shaedon because he was phenomenal in the first quarter.
Yeah,
he was so good in the first quarter.
But
I was sitting there going, "Oh, okay."
But
like he's stringing these together now.
But that's why I think if he is fully healthy, is not on a minutes restriction. That's why
there's no minutes restriction. You're playing 35 minutes. No, I've been doing this for 14 years. I've been watching the game for 35 years. I've never heard of a 35-minute minutes restriction ever.
But once you get to that moment, maybe the guy's maybe he's gassed. Maybe he's gassed, dude.
Okay. I'll just say this: the only starter who had a negative plus minus last night was Shaden.
Oh, okay.
He was really bad in the second half.
I would be shocked if Truth Serum said to Tiago Splitter that Shaden was benched because he sucks. Sucked.
It would be the least surprising thing.
Yeah.
Least surprising thing. He's done it already this season, not just with him, with other guys.
Maybe it's revisionist history that when I look at, the replacements of City Sissoko, who was equally as bad in his time down the stretch.
But the thing is, you keep saying equally as bad. He wasn't equally as bad because he's doing
turnovers.
He's doing the other thing on the other end that they want him to do.
Yeah, but Shane might not have those same turnovers, so it's like kind of where are you going to pick your poison here?
I'm looking at Shaden's turnovers right now. He did,
but in that overtime is what I'm saying.
I mean, City had 2 turnovers in 29 minutes.
I know, both in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. Is would you rather have that defensive prowess or do you need to score buckets?
Well, I mean, they weren't having trouble scoring.
All right.
That's what I'm at.
All right.
And how did the Kings score last night? How did the Kings score?
You tell me.
Because their fast break points were 27-4.
There's that pace.
It's not just that. It's not getting back.
Mm-hmm.
The number of runouts that happened last night was disgusting. Points in the paint. The Kings had 74 points in the paint. I mean,
I know that's an Earth to Donovan right there.
But it's also because they were getting out in transition, and not even in transition. They were running out off makes. They did not have the requisite defensive intensity. They did not get back. They did not stop the ball. The number of odd man opportunities, 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, 4-on-3s, it was egregious last night. And if this is any other team, you're getting walked out of the gym.
And I think that's what's alarming. Is that Sacramento and New Orleans are probably the 2 worst teams in the West.
And Sacramento didn't play Malik Monk last night because there's this whole thing about will he, won't he get traded and all these other things. They didn't have Levine. They didn't have Sabonis.
Yeah. And that's really concerning to me, is that this team is at the bottom of the barrel and they're coming back. What was it?
Maxime Renaud went for 29-11.
I was just about to say that. They went on a 17-2 run in the final 2.5 minutes of regulation. Like, that's alarming.
And this is not to just hear bag on Shaden because Denny had one too a little bit earlier. But they had a chance to basically run out almost the entirety of the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And Shaden decides he wants to take a shot with 13 seconds on the shot clock.
That's a kid right there.
And it was like,
make smarter choices than that.
What are you doing, dog? That's 2 whole possessions.
Yeah.
And it was a mid-range pull-up.
Yeah, you got to make better choices than that. And he'll learn from that.
And that's the thing is like, over the last couple of games, what we talked about, wasn't just been his production, it's been his decision-making. It was really good. And hell, the first quarter.
Some good ball movement from him last night.
Yes. And especially in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's putting this thing together. Maybe he's figuring out. That second half was not it.
Yeah. Hard for the kid. He's got to focus on a lot of different stuff.
Here's the crazy thing about last night. All this being said, Denny still finishes with 35, 5, and 5. And Jeremy Grant absolutely baptized Renaud.
Yeah.
My goodness. Off 2. Just absolute hammer.
Yeah, you said this, and I'm going to steal it. It's too bad that Jeremy's shooting numbers for the night weren't that great because that dunk was awesome.
I mean, that's one of the most vicious off 2 posters of a 7-footer that I've ever seen live.
What'd you hear from him after the game? What did he say?
Yeah, he said, what was the exact words were, I used to be able to get up a little bit. I think people do kind of forget that Jeremy Grant was a second-round pick who was an athlete out of Syracuse.
Oh, yeah. I like it when the old dogs are like, oh, yeah. I mean, I can still play.
He's tried to do this, and not tried to. He's had more of like poster, vicious dunks at the rim, not like runway dunks, but like off vert, off 1, off 2 in 27 games, 26 games this year.
Mm-hmm.
Then in any period of time, he's been a Blazer.
I know, and we forget it because we love the shade and runway dunks.
Look, Lamar Hurd was on with the boys the other morning. He ain't wrong. There's probably nobody in the NBA right now who, if you see him get 2 steps, that you perk up more for.
Yeah.
Because you're like you do the Lamar Hurd, as you just absolutely lose it because you're gonna do it. But man, last night was not good.
You got a dub though. Got the dub.
I'm a firm believer that you learn your best in losses, but they can't afford to lose these games.
I think the way this one went down is flashing lights. This game is going to resonate like a loss.
Normally,
it's a collapse.
I'm a burn the game tape kind of guy when it's this. I said it last night on TV. This is the kind of game where you strap them to the chair, tape their eyelids open with toothpicks, and force
Clockwork
them
Orange style.
Yeah, make them watch this and go, you cannot get away with this any other night in the league.
Blazers win, 134-133, hoping to avoid a second loss to the Kings. They'll take them on Saturday, and I'm sure on Monday, Danny will have plenty for you on the Blazers as they survive somehow by the hair of their sweet chinny chin chin against the Sacramento Kings last night in Portland on Pride Night. When we come back, the Bears take on the Packers this weekend. They're looking for their 11th win and a stronghold on the division. Can they make it happen? I think it lies in the hands of one man. That's next. Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan. Well, I don't know how this NFL weekend's going to get any better after the game of the year last night as the Seahawks defeat the Rams 38-37 in overtime and just a wild series of events in how that game went down. You caught 12 passes, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, and you're a loser in Puka Nacua? I mean, he's a loser in different ways for, comments and
Stay off Twitter.
et cetera. Yeah, dude, stay off Twitter and don't talk about other people. But, that's a wild stat line to see that Matt Stafford threw the ball almost 50 times, no sacks, and lost.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. I don't know how the NFL is going to cap that, but they're going to give it a shot on Saturday. The 5:30 game on Fox is Packers-Bears in Chicago.
And nobody's playing.
That's
sounds
what
like
it sounds
Josh Jacobs and Christian Watson are going to be out. There's no Roma Dunze or who's the other injured receiver for the Bears.
But I love that because when we first heard that, because I think we heard the no receivers yesterday for the Bears, and we knew Watson was a little iffy. But this Josh Jacobs thing came out of nowhere for me. But I mean, that's sometimes the nature of the beast playing running back. Dude, you just get hit. He's
been playing dinged up for a while now.
But obviously I don't root for injuries. But after I heard the receivers out for the Bears, I was like, man, that stinks. I'll take the Packers big in this. Well, things kind of even out when it comes to the offense as far as weapons go. The Packers are missing their best weapons. The Bears are losing their best weapons in their receiving group. Still got great running backs.
Oh, it's Luther Burden. That was who was out. And then Cole Kmet and DeAndre Swift are both questionable for the Bears.
Oh, I don't like that. I just said the running backs were going to be there because that's what they're going to have to lean on. The Packers don't have Micah Parsons, but if you tell me right now who I'm taking to be in control of this game, Jordan Love or Caleb Williams, I know I'm harsh on Caleb Williams, and I know that sometimes it might not be.
It's got to be
It might not be validity.
It needs to be a coming out party for him.
It really does. It really does. I think Jordan Love can play average and win this game. Caleb's going to have to be efficient, consistent, and smart. And I know that's like, well, duh, that's how quarterbacks play. But I'm talking like extra. When I watch my teams play on TV, you know how we all yell at the TV sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
We're watching our teams, they do something stupid or they do something great. Do you have like a go-to line?
I can't say it.
Oh, okay. My go-to line is when it's a pressure situation or when things are starting to get shaky. I go, all right, guys, be smart.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I always say. Be smart. And it's in like a slow down, be calm, and be smart. Think about this for a moment. And that's what Caleb's going to have to do, in my opinion, to make this thing happen. Otherwise, it can go sideways really quickly. Look, this Packer defense loses Micah Parsons. They're still a pretty damn good unit.
They are, but here's the thing: if the Bears can win this game, they can basically control this, and that's what this fundamentally comes down to. Because you'll split the series with the Packers, and this, when we looked at this, I want to say like 5 weeks ago, I was like, we're gonna know about the Bears because they're gonna play the Packers twice, basically to close out the season, and whether or not they're real or not is gonna be on the table because they finished. I think it was after they played the Steelers. They beat the Steelers, and they had Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, Niners. I think that's what it was. It was after they played the Eagles. They had the Packers, Browns, Packers, 49ers. And we were going to know very much what this team was.
Mm-hmm.
And they play a close game with the Packers in Lambeau. They dropped that game. They beat the living crap out of the Browns. Now they get the Packers at home. And we were just in Chicago last week, a little layover, but there were still quite a bit of snow on the ground. And we've all seen the video, if you haven't, of the guy with the RC Coke.
I haven't.
Oh, have you not seen this? The guy at the Bears game on Sunday. It turned into a slushie in his hand.
Oh, wow.
The wind chill was like -10.
That sounds like Chicago to me.
Yeah, so it's not going to be that bad.
Does it happen like that in northern Indiana too?
Yeah. All the wind off the lakes, man.
God, you losers, just figure it out. You have an NFL team. Just build the damn stadium
They seem to have the agreement, and then it just fell apart out of nowhere. But it does appear it's going to be a little bit warmer, but the real feel is still in the 20s. So it looks like at 5 o'clock, it's going to be about 36 degrees. The real feel is going to be 24 degrees. Thankfully, the wind's not ripping, but it is still 15 to 20 miles an hour, it looks like. I'm sorry, it's gusting up to 30.
But guess what? But that doesn't play a factor because Green Bay plays in that weather too.
I'm not talking about the teams. I'm just talking about the style of game that you play. Because that does change it. Because
it does.
If Josh Jacobs can't go, and you've got to kind of ground and pound it a little bit, you kind of wonder, because that Bears running attack has been, what they have done this season. Everybody points to Caleb hasn't thrown for 350 yards, blah, 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 blah. this Bears offense is still like the number 5 offense in the league.
I know. I think when it comes to the weather, though, and I agree. I mean, it's kind of the age-old thing in bad weather games. Like if you're in Buffalo, give the ball to James Dalvin Cook III, not to be confused with Dalvin James Cook. You want to run the ball. I just have a ton of faith in Jordan Love's experience and his eyesight and his brain throwing the ball still in cold weather. Caleb, I'm not there yet. I don't know if I'll ever be. Again, I'm harder on Caleb than I probably should be, but I also think that I'm not wrong, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. But the Bears are the 5th best offense in the league right now. I think they're 7th in points scored. Their rushing attack, they are 2nd behind the Bills.
That's a balance.
The Bears
That's Ben Johnson.
They have the 2nd best running game in the league.
Safe to say year 1 returns on Ben Johnson are pretty good.
I mean, they're 10-4.
I know.
Remember we were talking about coming into the season, hey, can the Bears win 9 games?
They were like the dark horse to be like a sneaky wild card team, and they could win
the division.
The 2nd best division in football. Yeah.
And that's with their defense just playing like buns most of the year.
I'm going to take the Packers in this game. Not pretty. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game.
Everything is telling me to take the Packers. I'm going to take the Bears because they just keep. It's not even Caleb. There's something.
Just teasing you.
No, I know.
I put the fight up on.
Yeah, no,
so
fight on.
Fight on. Whatever. Whatever you idiots do.
Yeah, there you go. But this kind of feels like the Commanders last year. Like they just kind of kept finding ways. You know what I mean?
Totally. Winning close games. Normally it could go either way. It goes your way. I mean that Commanders thing, quote unquote, took them to a title game.
Yeah,
took them to a conference title game. That's not a bad life to live.
No, and look, do I see the Bears doing that? No. I mean, if the defense can find its footing in the playoffs, anything can happen. Because here's the thing: they can run the ball, and Caleb will make inexplicable, terrible throws, but he'll also make 4 or 5 throws in a game that make you go, holy crap,
Yep.
What was that?
And that's why you see the talent in Caleb. And that's probably why I can admit that I am too hard on Caleb.
He makes a throw that only 3 or 4 of the guys in the league can make.
Because I do not acknowledge some of the escapability and throws that he can make.
But it's not consistency. It's the inconsistency.
I know, and I gotta stop looking at him in such a negative light because look, the fingernail painting, the crying with mom.
He's a different cat.
That stuff never really bothered me. I'm cool with weirdos. You know, my kids and I, we teach each other and yell at each other all the time. If you're not weird, you're not cool. Like, you know how boring it would be to not be weird? So I don't have any problems with Caleb as a human being. I got to find a way to stop banging on him for pissing me off on those bad throws and maybe try to appreciate the good throws because I do that with most other people.
Jordan Love?
Yeah. I mean, I'm guilty as charged.
The Jordan Love experience is not as detrimental sometimes, but he can disappear even more.
And I'm an apologist.
Yes.
And I should probably balance myself.
That's why you like Dante Moore, because you see Jordan Love in him.
That's not a bad place to be.
No, it's not.
That's not a bad place.
It's a good quarterback.
To be. I mean, I took the Packers to win the Super Bowl.
You did.
Don't love that pick
that's
now.
probably what it is. It's like you just like that. You've latched onto it, and you're like, I can't let that go. I can't let
die
that go.
on this hill.
Yeah.
Let's take a peek around the NFL and look at some other divisional matchups, playoff matchups, things like that'll affect the outcome and who goes to the dance and who doesn't. Because by the time we get to Sunday, we've already had 2 massive implications in the NFC. So we'll take a peek at the AFC and the other games as well. We'll do all that next. But first, that guy over there, that's the big kahuna with sports.
I hear they got some tasty burgers.
This is the firm of Harris and Marang. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the Oregon Ducks begin what they hope to be an extra month-long run in the college football playoff, hosting the 12-seed James Madison Dukes tomorrow at Autzen. The Ducks are 20.5-point favorites. It's a 4:30 kick on TNT and HBO Max. Our coverage starts at noon with Dirt, Dusty, and Anthony Newman live from Eugene. Stick around after the game for the Ducks post-game scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Schultze. The first of 4 first-round college football playoff games this weekend is this evening. Number 8, Oklahoma, hosting number 9, Alabama. 5 o'clock kick on ABC and ESPN. The Sooners are 1.5-point favorites. Coverage on 910 ESPN Portland starts at 4:30. Then tomorrow, number 7, Texas A&M, 3-point favorites, hosting 10-seed Miami. That's a 9 a.m. kick on ABC and ESPN. 12:30 on TNT and HBO Max. It's number 6 Ole Miss hosting number 11 Tulane. The Rebels are 17.5-point favorites. We'll have coverage of both games on 910 ESPN Portland starting at 9 o'clock. And the Trailblazers off tonight after surviving a fourth quarter collapse and beating the Kings in overtime. Back at it tomorrow night in Sacramento against those very same Kings. Portland now 11-16 on the season. That is 10th in the Western Conference. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Getting higgy with it.
He's a big ass boy.
Swagalicious.
Have you ever been to a volcano?
All right, we got Web Gems coming up next here. Everybody's favorite at 11:45. Anything you guys can help me out with? I need to add to my portrait of a raccoon in a luxury dress suit, with some trash bags and some other things that can go for this white elephant gift. If you can help me out with that, 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. Or over on the YouTube chat. And we're talking about the NFL here. We've already been delivered one great game. I'm sorry, I don't expect Eagles Commies to be a great game on Saturday. Although, who knows? Maybe Mariota gives us a ball here and upsets the Eagles, because that would be definitely a fun talking point. Looking through the rest of the schedule, boy, there's some rough games this weekend, my friend. This 49ers-Colts game on Monday all of a sudden became very, very interesting. due to where the Colts sit in the AFC picture, but also the fact that the Niners are in the driver's seat.
The Colts are like this weird linchpin to like 80 billion different playoff scenarios. It's super weird with how the schedule worked out.
The Colts game against the Seahawks with Philly Rivers at the dish, highest rated Colts game in like
5 years.
5 years. That's wild. That's so crazy. I can't believe Rivers has that much of a pull.
Uncle Phil delivers.
He really does. I can't wait to watch him play on Monday night when I sit on my fat ass at home. Let's go through this. Let's see. Chargers, Cowboys, woof. Bills, Browns, woof. Chiefs, Titans might be the most woof of the weekend.
Hey, what do you mean? That's your Cougoff.
Okay, cool. My backup quarterback versus my future backup quarterback. Awesome. It's not fair.
I love how much you hate Cam Ward.
It's not fair to Cam
Is there a
Ward.
quarterback that you like not named Jordan Love?
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow?
I love Joe. I love Josh. Lamar. Gotta love Matt Stafford. I can't disagree with that. I love Herbie, because I'm a secret Duck fan.
That's not a secret.
There's plenty of quarterbacks that I love.
Jets, Saints. Good God.
I took the Saints on that. Saints are favored by 6.5.
Falcons, Cardinals. I think I'd rather watch an actual Falcon fight an actual Cardinal.
The only benefit you have in that is it's Kirkers at the dish, and he is going to give it his all. He really is. The biggest game of the Sunday slate is probably Jags Broncos. But I give you a sneaky one of Bucks at Panthers.
Well, I mean, it's for the division, baby.
That might be that's probably a standalone game for me on Sunday. I will probably watch that. Maybe dual screen with the red zone. But the morning slate is not that exciting to me. But this Bucks Panthers game, I'm probably gonna hate watch the living hell out of it because, well, both these teams are tough to watch sometimes. But it's for everything. I mean, it's on the line right then and there.
I mean, what's on the line?
Playoffs.
I guess.
We out on both these teams going to the playoffs? One of them is going to host a game.
The Bucks are just beat to hell, and the Panthers suck.
Yeah, the Bucks might need a new coaching staff.
And it does sound like that's heading down that road, which, I mean, if they get another
step, seen them the last few weeks?
So it's going to be Baker's, fourth OC in 4 years?
And his, 10th in his career?
Yeah. I mean,
they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their last 8.
Mm-hmm.
They have wins against the Saints and the Cardinals. They've lost to the Saints and the Falcons in back-to-back weeks.
And got crushed by the Rams.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's sad, man, because they were such a fun team to start the season.
Look, it's crappy for sure, but, I mean, there's a lot on the line. What is the NFL really good at? The NFL is really good at giving you drama, giving you storylines, giving you a reason to be there. And this is a reason to be there for me. Now, when it comes to the afternoon slate, you got Steelers-Lions. I'm not sure how that turns out. That's you want to talk about it?
Time to nut up or shut up.
Hell yeah, Lions. This is your season. And you can beat this Steeler team. You can. But as we just talked about Packers-Bears, they're light years ahead of you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are they light years ahead of you in terms of being better? I don't think so. I think Detroit has just had a really rough go this year.
Yeah.
I think losing both coordinators is
no
joke.
Difficult thing to overcome.
They have losses against the Packers. They lost against a full-strength Chiefs team who looked to be back at that point. They lost to a Vikings team. That was an odd game. The Vikings played their ass off and won that game. The Eagles are Super Bowl champs. You lose another one to the Packers. They've had a tough schedule. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
But they are not light years behind Chicago or Green Bay.
No.
But if you lose this game, you out.
Which is crazy to think about.
You out. You out. Patriots, Ravens, they're in the same boat. Ravens are in the same boat.
Ravens have to hope and pray.
You lose this game, you're out.
Because they end the season with Steelers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. If you're a Ravens fan, you're diehard Lions this weekend. Also, the scariest thing, if you're the AFC North, is the Texans have the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
That'll get them to their 10th win. A team who at the beginning of the year we were like, uh-oh, D'Amico's rah-rah ain't so rah-rah anymore. And it's like, oh, wait. No, his coaching is coaching right now.
I mean, you just again, I'm just going to beat this horse until it's dead. The number of times they've allowed more than 20 points this season. To the Jags, 29. To the Seahawks on the road, 27. that it?
Say this again?
The number of times that the Texans have allowed more than 20 points this season. Let's see. No. So, yeah, the 29 to the Jags, 27 to the Seahawks. That's it.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, they allowed 20 to the Bucks. So, yeah, allowed more than 20 twice this season.
Mm-hmm.
They've allowed 20 on the dot 1, 2, 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. And, so, I mean, they've been under 20 every other game.
Yeah. That's what they're doing.
You're holding a team under 3 scores every game, basically.
They're very, very scary. They're a team I want nothing to do with.
Goodness gracious,
Like,
man.
thank God I'm riding the Seahawk train right now, and my pick was the Green Bay Packers. I'm very happy from a pick standpoint that they are in the NFC because they can avoid that until you get to the big one.
Yeah, good God. What are they at on the season now, points allowed per game?
I think it should be under 16.
16.3.
16.3. Your last big one that we get into is Jags Broncos. Okay, Patriots take on the Ravens. I think Patriots will take care of business there, but because they need to keep up with the Broncos and trying to get the number one.
I think I ended up picking this game.
Say this again.
The Jags Broncos line is Denver 3.5.
That's a pick 'em.
It's at Denver.
That's a pick 'em.
That's kind of crazy that they're calling it like that. As good as the Broncos have looked.
Well, I think a lot of it is that the Jags are playing really well right now, but also the Broncos offense.
It's a diesel engine. It takes a long time to get started.
Yeah, I think if you're a casual fan, I think you probably have a lot of issues with this Broncos offense. They're definitely slow to get going, like you said. First half Bo is not great, but second half Bo is fantastic. And coming off the game he had last week, if they can put that together, number 1 seed right there. I saw it on the YouTube chat. I believe it was Rufio said it earlier. Seattle could play, 4 quarters of B-plus football and get to the NFC title game and be favored. I think they could win that game. They go into the Super Bowl. If they play the Broncos might whoop them, even with that offense being a struggle. So I think there's 2 sides you look at. Are the Broncos due for a clunker by Bo in that offense?
Probably.
Can Jacksonville get out to a big enough lead that they can't come back on?
They had to claw it back.
Because the Broncos had a big comeback earlier this year, but
Giants.
I can't remember who was. Yeah, the Giants. They had that, but that's the Giants.
Yeah.
This is the Jags, who are leading their division and going to the playoffs.
Been pretty solid.
This is a playoff matchup right here.
Duval.
I think I took the Jags in it to be spicy in a pick'em. I believe the Broncos will win in the pick'em, though. I took the Jags to be spicy, trying to catch people off
I know it was
guard.
on my list. I don't know if I ended up picking it. I'm trying to find my.
I know in the old happy hour pick'em, I of course had to take my Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's the only pick'em I do. I did the happy hour pick'em.
I took Denver.
And I took Jacksonville.
Trevor
for
Lawrence and
funsies.
his beautiful hair and his Easter Island statue face.
Well, he is a good-looking dude, but he's got that long kind of nose, face, chin thing.
It's like him and the Bosas.
I like Denver to win this game, but if you are doing a pick'em, if you're doing a gambling, this might be a one to be spicy on.
I took Denver, but I picked it earlier, and I got Denver minus 2.5.
Oh, hey.
So I got a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
So, yep, I took Chargers 1.5 over Dallas, Minnesota minus 2.5 over the Giants, Cincinnati minus 1.5 over Miami, Denver minus 2.5 over Jacksonville, and Patriots plus 2.5 over the Ravens.
503-864-6326. This text says, last weekend was an anomaly with multiple great matchups in the NFL. This week we're back to the usual. So many unwatchable games. I agree, but the good news is every window has something that's worthwhile.
As it pertains to the Patriots, Vrabel came out with the injury report today for the Patriots, and that's why that line is going. It's a lot of dudes.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of dudes. And the Ravens are desperate.
Yeah, every window has something good. I mean, I'll be watching the Chargers with a little side eye to see if they can dismiss the Cowboys.
Would love to see it.
Would love to see it. But Bucks Panthers in the morning window.
Chargers somehow could end up being 11-4 through 15 games.
Somehow. That's good quarterback play. That's good defense. That's good coaching.
Man.
That's good coaching. Bucks Panthers in the morning window. Jags Broncos in the afternoon with a little Steelers Lions dessert in the afternoon window. Patriots Ravens in the night on Sunday, and Niners Colts on Monday. And you got Packers Bears on Saturday after, some college football. I'm going to be watching the Duck game, but I'm going to pull up my iPad and I'm going to put both on. I'm going to watch them. I don't like to do the side-by-side when it's Duck games, just because Duck games are kind of like a little bit of our bread and butter here. But I do really, really want to watch this Bears-Packer game. I really do.
Just do two screens. You don't have to do side by side.
I don't have a place to set up a second screen in my house.
Don't you have the iPad?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Let's put the iPad up.
Okay. As I said, second
Oh, I
screen.
thought you meant like grab another TV.
I mean, if you're not going to be a coward about it, yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely a coward about it. All right, we come back. We'll get to Web Gems, everybody's favorite, 105.1 The Fan.
Sometimes it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
No, son of a...
It's Web Gems.
What'd you do?
The firm of Harris and Marang on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right, this Web Gems, everybody's favorite. We do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up on the big nooner, final hour of the show, and I will see you guys in about 10 days. We'll get to James Madison and the Oregon Ducks as they take on the college football playoff. We'll also get to a little Mario Cristobal chat, see what he needs to do to change his. He's almost in like the opposite world of Kalen DeBoer. You know what I mean? They love him in Miami, but he's not like winning the games like DeBoer can. And then closing arguments to send you on your way. But today's Web Gem is brought to you by the Heisman Trophy. There's some more fallout on Diego Pavia's response to not winning the situation. Couple things here. Where do we go? Do we go kettle and pot, Rusty, or do we go the legitimate guy first?
Oh, I think, yeah, it's a hello, kettle. Yeah, it's pot. You're black.
This is a quote. Diego, me, everyone else on this earth has flaws. Nobody handles every situation correctly. And there's times you look back on life and realize you make a mistake. That'll continue to be the case for me and everyone until our last day on earth. Do I love and support Diego? Of course. Do I think what he did this weekend went too far? Of course. I spoke to him about it, and he feels terrible. All you can do is wake up the next day and move forward with your life, striving to be a better person and not make a similar mistake. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to talk my S and fire back at all of you that come for me. That is Heisman Trophy quarterback winner Johnny Manziel saying that Pavia went too far.
I mean,
it's easy for Johnny to say he won the trophy.
But
you think Johnny Manziel acts this way if he doesn't win the trophy? The guy who lost 40 pounds from blow?
Well, also Johnny Manziel was 11 billion times better.
11 billion, maybe 12 billion.
Yeah, it wasn't close. But also, if it's so sideways that Johnny's like, yo, dude,
shut up.
You're doing, the thing is, Johnny's looking at this, honestly, from a pretty mature standpoint of, I acted a fool. I got away with it. I was a lot better.
Yes, a lot better. I beat Alabama once.
Like, you don't get to act a fool and not even be coming anywhere near what I'm at.
There's a grown-up in the room, too. This is Reese Davis on Diego Pavia not winning the Heisman. And there's a funny thing, an interesting thing in here from this.
This one was different. I regretted the vote because after Pavia's behavior in the aftermath, I was like, man, I'm glad he didn't win. I'm glad he didn't win. That's not the way you should feel about a player that's as great as Pavia is on the field. I am delighted that Mendoza won because he will represent the Heisman in the way that I think it should be represented. And I don't know if Pavia has learned anything from the response and the backlash from his reaction to losing. I get it. It's disappointing, man. It's close to the Heisman. Always wanted to win it. I get it. Got to suck it up sometimes, man. Every now and then in life, you got to wear a fastball in the ribs. Too bad. And he couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. And
that is Reese Davis on winning the Heisman. I think the funny thing in there is that Reese Davis voted for Diego Pavia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious as to why. I respect Reese a lot. I love him. I met him once. Super nice guy. I think him as a professional, what he does for game day is
incredible.
What we do for a living, that's a guy you should look up to. I think he does a phenomenal job, the role he does. I was surprised to hear that he voted for him. Look, he's not wrong.
I mean, Diego did get a lot of first place votes. But also, we had Rob Stone when we were in Baltimore, and he said when Fernando Mendoza came back in that game and made that throw against Ohio State, he was like, my vote's in. I'm done. This is done. Like, we all talked. This is over.
Well, you want to know the underlying similarity between that? Who does Rob Stone cover? The Big Ten. Who does Reese Davis cover? The SEC. I hope that's not how Reese Davis voted. I don't think that's the way he voted. But look, you've got the adult in the room and you've got the biggest child in the room telling you went too far.
Yeah.
I'm pretty glad that I'm probably never going to really hear about Diego Pavia again.
Yeah, I mean, just, this is what the instant fame, the instant money. Did anybody win the Powerball?
I drove in this morning and it said 1.2 bill.
1.2? I thought it was 1.5.
Or 1.5. I don't know.
Okay.
It gets really small on the board. And you know me, I'm blind.
But, my point being, what happens with all those winners when they get that kind of money?
Yeah.
When you get the kind of fame that's instantaneous.
Right.
And I'm not saying Diego Pavia didn't work for it.
No,
but when
great college quarterback.
But when the light gets on you and how you react, those are the kind of things we talked about with quarterback play, not just him, but in the NFL. and not even just quarterback play, just being a dude in professional sports. It's hard to not get caught up in almost like the idolatry of it all. Do you know what I mean? Like you start believing your own stuff too much, and you don't have the right people speaking into your life.
Smelling your own farts, yeah.
And I think that's the thing that becomes too much is you hear how great you are and how awesome you are, and it sounds corny, but it's humility. Like there's such a fine line between humility and arrogance. There really is.
Really is.
And because you can to be truly great, to be the greatest of all time, to be Michael Jordan, to be LeBron James, to be Wayne Gretzky, to be Tom Brady, to be that great, humility doesn't come with the game. It doesn't. You are such an arrogant D-bag that you are willing. The same thing is true in business. You are so willing to step on anyone and destroy everything to be the literal best.
Tom's Braids is not a guy that I'd really be interested in hanging out with.
I wouldn't want to hang out with Michael Jordan or Jeff Bezos or
Michael might be different.
I think you say that, but I think once you get past the shock, the idolatry of
the first 5 minutes, you're like, oh my God, it's Michael Jordan. Then the next hour, you're like,
probably a good hang, but also probably gets a little tiring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you hear all the stories about these guys in the sense of Michael Jordan looking over at the bench and saying, I'm going to bet you $200 right now. I'm going to give your guy 40. It's funny. But at the same time, he's willing to demolish this other person and embarrass and humiliate them in a manner that just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like you have to be a borderline sociopath to do that. The humble guys, you don't they disappear from the game and you don't really hear about them anymore. Like Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
Great quarterback, but you don't really hear about him or from him or anything along those lines.
We even heard stuff from Peyton Manning, who by all accounts is a nice guy, but remember the Vanderjack stuff? And even on his Monday Night Football show, him and Eli take shots at each other and at other people all the time.
What was it? Austin Collie, when he was with the Colts, went up for a one-handed catch, and Peyton Manning railed him so hard and said, if you ever do that again, you'll never see another ball. It's just, and to bring this back to Diego Pavia, I'm not saying that you have to be good enough to do this, but you have to be good enough to do this.
On the text line, Tim Duncan's greatness is overlooked because he wasn't an arrogant ass. It's the truth.
Ding, 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 ding.
I have Timmy D as a top 5 player.
Timmy D is a top 5 player.
I do too. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get to the big nooner. Ducks and Dukes on the Fan this Saturday. We'll get to that. Break down how James Madison got here. I want to talk about their coaches for a little bit. Then we'll get into the actual game. We'll make picks, scores, all that kind of stuff, and what the Ducks need to do to ensure this game does not get out of hand. We'll do that. Big nooner, 105.1 The Fan.
I'm Denton Davis.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Redtail Golf Center's holiday sale is going on now with up to 50% off all your holiday golfing needs. Redtail Golf Center, where we guarantee the lowest holiday prices. Visit us at golfredtail.com. First on the Fan, the Oregon Ducks begin what they hope to be an extra month-long run in the college football playoff, hosting the 12-seed James Madison Dukes tomorrow at Autzen Stadium. The Ducks are 20.5-point favorites. It's a 4:30 kick on TNT and HBO Max. Our coverage starts at noon with Dirt Dusty and Anthony Newman live from Eugene. Stick around after the game for the Ducks post-game scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Schultze. The first of 4 first-round college football playoff games this weekend is coming up tonight. Number 8 Oklahoma hosting number 9 Alabama. 5 o'clock kick on ABC and ESPN. The Sooners 1.5-point favorites. Coverage on 910 ESPN Portland starts at 4:30. Then tomorrow, you've got number 7 Texas A&M. They are 3-point favorites hosting 10-seed Miami, 9 a.m. on ABC and ESPN at 12:30 on TNT and HBO Max. Number 6 Ole Miss hosting number 11 Tulane. The Rebels are 17.5-point favorites. We'll have coverage of both those games on 910 ESPN Portland starting at 9 o'clock. And the Trailblazers off tonight after surviving a fourth-quarter collapse and beating the Kings in overtime. Back at it tomorrow night in Sacramento to face those very same Kings. Portland now 11-16, 10th in the Western Conference. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of primetime with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. The firm of Harris and Marang.
I do have a giant segment.
The opening week of the college football playoff is upon us with Patrick Harris.
Sure is nice to pile on some old pancakes and syrup after a night of beer drinking, isn't it?
And Danny Marang.
Hell, man. Grandmother's quicker and tougher than you pansies. Of course, she's 6'3", 250. I'm 4'40".
This is the firm of Harris and Marang. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by video only on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, The Fan.
All right, 2 down, 1 to go here. Portland Sports Leader. This is the firm of Harris and Marang. We do this bad boy every single day from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us on this Friday. I am 1 hour away from vacation. Give you a programming update on what goes down next week. You will have Danny in. You rocking solo show? You and Rusty?
Yep.
All right. That'll be great. So you'll have that on Monday, Tuesday. There are no programming on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after here at the Fan. So we'll give you guys all that time off. I'll be back on the 29th.
So I'll do basketball all day Monday and Tuesday. And then when you come back the next week, you'll do baseball.
Just hot stove.
Monday and Tuesday.
Hot stove for 6 hours.
Yes.
Hot stove. I will probably do a little baseball when we come back. The offseason's been pretty fun, and World Baseball Classic.
There you go. Hey, Orioles got themselves a pitcher.
I was going through some lineups. Yeah, Shane Baz to the Orioles. That's a nice pickup for them. Hopefully they didn't give up too many prospects for him. I was going through the World Baseball Classic rosters today for the Dominican, Japan, and America. Good God. It's so sexy. So we'll get some of that.
Got Mike Trout coming off the bench.
On the 29th, I'm also working on trying to bring in one of my buddies from Denver to talk a little bit about Broncos as well, and I'm sure you'll get plenty of Blazer recap and coverage from Danny while we're gone. After us, you'll get Duck Insider from 1 to 2, and then you'll have the Fan Happy Hour from 2 to 3 with Dusty Hurrah. Dusty Caesar's Palace is a host of that. And then it's primetime, baby. It's a Souk version of primetime from 3 to 7 to take you all the way home to finish up 13 hours.
Taking listener calls.
Of live, continuous, regional, local
live
sports
here on the
talk
Fan.
radio. Yeah, he'll also have Dan Lanning on as well. So you'll want to catch Dan Lanning today on prime time at 4 o'clock like usual. Ducks and Dukes are on the Fan this Saturday. Pre-game coverage starts at noon. Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Newman, Dusty Harrell live from Autzen Stadium. Ducks game day brought to you by Coors Light and wraps up with Dick Hanna Dealership's post-game scoreboard following the game with Joseph Fisher III and Jordan Schultz. So we're wall-to-wall here on the Ducks. And let's get into this game, Danny. I thought something fascinating when trying to look at JMU and kind of how they're here. And if you missed Dirt and Sprague this morning, they had Dave Riggert on, who's the play-by-play voice for James Madison. So go back and check that out wherever you get your podcasts. But I was looking at their coaching staff, right? Obviously, the big news is Cignetti. Comes from there. They're an FCS. They make the jump to FBS. Cignetti's the guy to take them home. He gets Indiana.
He brought his guy Shanahan with him to Indiana, and they just re-signed him in Indiana.
And he brings players and builds Indiana back
D'Angelo
to back.
Pons, who's going to be one of the top corners in the draft. He's one of the guys. And then I believe Jones, the linebacker, is also another one of those guys. I think he brought 30-something guys from JMU. Like, for JMU to be where they're at, considering what Cignetti took, is nuts.
Corey Heatherman was the James Madison DC from 2019 to 2021, the current DC at Miami. Brian Haynes, as you mentioned, current DC at Indiana, was at JMU 22-23. Lyle Hemphill is the current Texas A&M assistant and just recently promoted to D coordinator. He was at JMU, the DC, in 2024. Those are just the coaches that have come off this tree that are in the college football playoff.
Yes.
So it's not just like, oh, we found Cignetti and good luck at UCLA.
Whoever's hiring there, whatever firm they're using, whoever they're working with, whatever they're doing, they're identifying guys. They are developing them. And you know what they're not doing? They're not complaining about them leaving.
No, they're not. And that's the place, and that's kind of part of how it is.
That's Pernetti, man, with what he said. Remember? Like, we are not going to sit here. He looks, when we had him on the show, I can't remember if he said it on or off air. Look around. When guys leave, they stay here and they coach, and we want them to. We want things to go well. If they go somewhere else, you know what that is? That's a success for our conference.
Look, man, you're talking about the Wazoo Bowl in the NFL this weekend. I got John Mateer in a playoff game tonight, and I'm rooting the hell for him.
Yeah.
I know I can be a jerk about Cam Ward, and I should probably stop doing that. But I'm rooting for John Mateer. Am I a little mad at Arbuckle for leaving Wazoo? Yeah, sure. I am, and taking Mateer with him. But at the end of the day, I think Alex Brink said this on the show, if you are one of these teams, hell, even if you're in the bottom of the Power Four, if people are poaching your dudes, it means you're doing something right.
Yes.
And in a world of the haves and have-nots being so different and so far apart than they've ever been, if you want to steal my halves and make me go find them again and again and again, fine. I'll take that Pepsi challenge. I'll go after that. I will continue to find the next quarterback that you want to steal from me. Talking to our buddy about the kid from Sunrise that could be going to Wazoo. I don't know if he's going to stay there after the coaching change. I hope he plays 2 years and then is the head quarterback at Texas A&M. If my team is going to become quarterback you, go for it. If James Madison wants to be coaching you, go for it. And I think you embrace it and welcome it with open arms.
Find your lot in life, man. Because
know your role.
Here's the thing. Who's to say that you don't find your Kyle Whittingham?
Without a doubt.
That a guy goes, you know what? Or like Brom did. Brom left, and then he came home. And now he's going to... When Penn State was looking for a guy, they went to Brom. But he came home, and he said, you know what? I want to be here.
Yeah, you know who the next Whittingham might be? It might be Ryan Day.
Yeah. Because
he was an herb guy. He was kind of handpicked to success. But you didn't know what he was going to do. They wanted to fire him every single day.
And you got Sally at Utah. He was been the coach in waiting for like 7 or 8 years.
Now, these don't always work out. I mean, who's the head coach up at UW in basketball? He was Boeheim's choice.
Yeah.
But then he didn't want to wait for Boeheim because Boeheim wouldn't retire because he's an old curmudgeon. So he went to go find a new opportunity. I wouldn't be shocked if that guy ends up at Syracuse again.
Could happen.
Because but
this whole idea of
it just takes one.
The woe is me stuff. You just keep clawing and you keep doing the thing and you keep putting your head down. I know I've said it like seemingly a million times since we had him on air. It's what I like what Pernetti's doing with the American Conference. They're not out there shunning Golish or any of their coaches that are leaving. They're lifting them up and saying, this is like, hey, young coaches, you know what you can do? You can come here. You could be successful. You can make something of yourself. Market that.
It's something the ACC is really lacking.
I heard somebody...
Of the Power Four, they're the ones that struggle the most at it. Even the Big 12 embraces what they are. They're like, chaos! We love it!
I heard somebody say this the other day, and I thought it was actually pretty poignant, and it was more of being applied to life. I can't remember who it was. This group sat down and they all watched. It wasn't in sports, but they watched Moneyball, and they watched it as a group because sometimes you don't have all the resources. Sometimes you don't have all the things. Sometimes you don't have the best of whatever, and your circumstances are what they are, and you can't change them. But what you can do is you can go, what's your on-base percentage? What is the thing that you need to be successful at? What is the thing that you can find that you can over-deliver on?
Right.
And maybe you may not be able to do it in a traditional manner.
Right.
But if you know how to do it and you can find a workaround, you can do it cheaper, you can do it more efficiently, you can do it more streamlined. Maybe the JMU, whoever's there as the AD, whoever they're using as a searching firm, whoever they're using as a general manager, whoever they have there right now, maybe they're really, really, really good at identifying talent.
Maybe they are. And that's your lot in life.
And you know what? That's great. Look, I'll use the USC example. USC went and stole Chad Bowden from Notre Dame. What happened? They had the number one recruiting class in the country.
Yeah.
Now, USC has all the resources. Notre Dame has all the resources, all those things. But if you find somebody that's really good at what they do, it doesn't have to be this thing where, but yeah, they're doing this. They're like, your lot in life is your lot in life until you change your lot in life. And how do you do that? You find a way to optimize the situation that you're in.
I agree.
And that's what JMU is doing.
I agree. And that's what brought them here. And that's how they got here. And kudos to them. And I'm glad that they're having fun with it. They're like, I mean, who knows if you come back here? You know, the G5, G6 thing is going to be really strange. And enjoy it while you got it. Let's get into the game itself, all right? Ducks are a heavy favorite. You know, I think all of us assume they're going to win, but let's get into how they win this game. I'll hammer on it again on what I think they should do coming out the gates. And we'll do that next. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. This is 105.1 The Fan.
The
Coverage starts right here on the Fan Sports Network. Oregon Ducks, home of the Ducks. Coverage starts at noon on Saturday. Get you the Ducks pregame show. Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Q. Newman, Dusty Caesar's Palace will be there for you on the pregame. Toss it over to the Duck crew. Joey Mack, Jerry, and Jorgie on the call. Post-game coverage, Joe Fisher, the third, Jordan Schultz, wall-to-wall as the Ducks take on the Dukes of James Madison this Saturday in the first college football playoff game held at Autzen Stadium. Should be an absolute wild time. When Andy Johnson was leaving as we were doing the trade over, I caught his attention, looked him in the eye, and I said, hey, bud, have fun. Looked him in the eye and said, enjoy yourself, because no matter who you're playing, if it's James Madison or if it was going to be Alabama or Notre Dame, and according to Nick Saban, it should be Notre Dame. Of course it should be. Just have a moment where you take a look around and realize to yourself, it is December 20th at 5 o'clock, and I'm at a game at Autzen Stadium that my season is on the line for. That's a pretty rad situation, and I am envious of you and your team.
I asked him on Monday, like, how are you feeling about this game? Are you excited? Like, he's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's a college football. And again, this wasn't like me, like, are you excited? It was like, I'm just trying to get the tenor of a guy who just bleeds green and yellow because.
Trying to find out if he's excited knowing that this should be a blowout.
Yeah, and he was like, it's going to be a 4-hour party with 60,000 of my closest friends.
I think that's the best way to look at it.
Like,
I think it is.
And again, it's a college. It's not the biggest game it's ever been played there, but it might be the coolest in the sense of
it might be the coolest.
It's a playoff game.
And that's what I've tried to ask. When we've talked to Tyson Alger or other Duck fans or just kind of open-ended on this show, kind of asking, like, is this the biggest game in Oregon history? And no, you've played in national championships before and Rose Bowls, etc. But I think you nailed it. It might be one of the coolest games you've ever played. And as this game starts to flow out, the metrics say that the James Madison Dukes have one of the best defenses in the country. So then let's start there, and I'll go there. And I think from Duck's standpoint, Will Stein, that offense, I think you want to punch them in the face and punch them in the face early because you can see an opponent kind of stagger back a little bit. If you can get Noah Whittington on a nice 35-yard run to the house, boy, that'd light up that crowd real quick. If Dante can throw a ball down the field, let's say DeCorian's on the field. We don't know yet. That's probably going to be a game time decision. Let's say he's not, okay? And let's say it's McClellan, all right? McClellan, excuse me. Throw him the ball, get him, to get a 25-yard play. He's down at the 4-yard line, turn it to Jordan Davison, pound that sucker in, and go up 14-0 in the first quarter. Get out in a hurry, punch him in the face,
take the life
and don't look back.
Yeah, that's the thing is,
be more aggressive than you've ever been in a game.
Upsets occur when you let the lesser team hang around.
Truth.
And if you do that, you go back to the Idaho game. Was that 2 years ago? Was that last year? Last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, the Idaho game. You let them hang around.
Because Echo was there.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can never get their names right. Elko, thank you.
You let them.
Elko's at A&M?
Yeah, A&M.
No, it's the dude at New Mexico was at Idaho.
Yes.
Eck.
There you go.
Sorry.
I thought you were saying Elko, and you call me off.
My bad. I derailed you. I'm going to screw those names up for the rest of my life.
But you let them hang around. That's what happens. If you let teams hang around, all of a sudden, the pressure's not on them. They're playing with house money.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Oh, they have nothing to lose.
No.
That's how they approach this game. Now, what'll be interesting, I know I can sit there and I say, be aggressive. Be more aggressive than you've ever been on offense. That's not really how Will Stein's gone about this season, Now, I don't know if they're really looking at James Madison like they do Indiana, Iowa, Penn State, USC, but I also don't think they're looking at him like Oregon State, Oklahoma State, Northwestern. That being said, I don't know what Stein and the offense will do because history has shown this season in big games, which this is a big game, even though the spread is 21. This is a big game. Will Stein has shown us patience. As I was joking earlier, be smart. Mm-hmm. Don't get over your skis.
Which kind of flies in the face of going out and being super aggressive and trying
it's
to...
It's the exact opposite of what I'm saying. And maybe that's why they inevitably don't do that, because that's not what we do. That's not what we do here. And do you
And
want
does that change though as you're pivoting away from Stein?
is now the time to act out of character? I don't know if that's true.
College football playoff, probably not the best place to do that.
Probably not the best place to do that.
But the interesting thing is you have this game against JMU and you expect that they're going to handle things the way that you expect. But then they go into Texas Tech, and at that point in time, both Lapoy and Stein are both probably, if they're 50-50 right now, they're 75-25.
In what?
As far as like foot out the door.
Yeah.
Transfer portal opens up, they're going to new jobs.
Yeah.
And you're probably starting to hand stuff off to new guys. Like those are the things that you start kind of popping up about, because JMU is dealing with this right now with their
Chesney
coaching staff is leaving, and they're probably going to lose a lot of players with where he goes. And you wonder just how many of those guys are going to do that with the Ducks, but they're offensively and defensively with those guys. I'm sure they're going to take a couple. I mean, it's not.
But probably no starters to where Chesney could take starters.
Sure. But I do wonder about those implications on this game because on the NFL side of things, we talked so much in the early season about the Detroit Lions and losing both their coordinators and how different it was, and they had a ramp up for that. This is a in season, in playoff, this is a change, and I wonder just how much of their identity stays true, stays whole. Like, I'm not saying this is like a I want to see this happen, and Lapoy and Stein, I can't believe this. It's like, no, this is a part of life. They're human. Like, they're going to have other things that they're doing. Like, they have other jobs now, and I wonder if any at all impact is going to be there and how they both go about attacking this. And because this idea of like, oh, they're 100% in on the Ducks. No, they're not. No, they're not. And it's okay to say that. Because
that's just human. That's just natural human.
They have other jobs.
Yeah. As far as this game goes, I do think Stein will play it cool. I don't think he'll be as aggressive as I want him to be. Sure. I think so too. It's just the identity. And I will tell you, the end of the third quarter, it's 31-3. Dante's out of the game. Final score, 34-10. 34-13.
Oh, careful.
What?
One of those is a push. The other one's a cover.
I'm not worried because I don't gamble. I will say it's 31-3. Dante, Noah, starters get pulled, backups come in near the end of the third quarter. Start protecting guys, get them healthy, and maybe a backdoor touchdown to cover the spread for you poor gamblers out there. I'll say 34-10.
By the way, ESPN's got it at 20.5.
20.5. There you go.
The hook.
The hook is here.
The hook came in.
The hook came in. But see, I like that more from an Oregon standpoint.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Madison.
Like,
yep.
We were talking when we had Cannell on Wednesday.
Money must have come in on JMU.
Yeah, I asked him, I'm like, do you need the hook here? Do you need the 21.5? Do you need the 20.5?
Probably. 20.5 tells me that everyone thinks that what I think. Oregon wins. Yeah.
But a backdoor.
Backdoor
cover. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 20.5 makes me lean Oregon.
20.5, yeah, for sure. I might go up to A&A.
20.
I got the next 10 days off, baby.
It's so dumb that half point does that, but like that's where I'm at with this.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how close I think that number is. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's pretty spot on.
I'll be interested to see if they do anything to get prepped for Texas Tech. It's just hard to recreate that Tech defense in a game like this.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. If this were like Iowa before you played Texas Tech, I think you could do a lot with it.
I mean, JMU has dudes, but it's dudes on a different level.
Yeah. Just a missed field goal. Dude, this bowl game, NC State on Memphis right now, it's already 21-0 in the second quarter.
Both these games have been sideways.
Yeah. Ugh.
Bowl season, baby.
All right, good luck to you Ducks out there tomorrow. I'll be watching the game. Just another reminder on the Fan this Saturday. Pregame coverage starts at noon with Ducks Game Day, brought to you by Coors Light, and wraps up with the Dick Hanna dealerships post-game scoreboard following the game. Catch all the action right here. I'm trying to find a way to sync Jerry and Jorgie and the brand man, the sideline man, with my TV because I like them on the call a little more than whatever they hand me on, what is it going to be on, TNT, HBO Max. When we come back, what does Cristobal have to do to change the narrative on him? Is it win a game, or does he got to make a run? We'll do that next. The Kahuna with sports.
Hamburgers, the cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast.
This is the firm of Harris and Marang. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Laurelhurst Market, Steakhouse, and Butcher Shop, a great spot for any occasion. And don't forget, you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. First on the Fan, the Ducks begin what they hope to be an extra month-long run in the college football playoff hosting the 12-seed James Madison Dukes tomorrow at Autzen Stadium. The Ducks are 20.5-point favorites. It's a 4:30 kick on TNT and HBO Max. Our coverage starts at noon with Dirt, Dusty, and Anthony Newman live from the Huge. Stick around after the game for the Ducks post-game scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Schultze. The first of 4 first-round college football playoff games this weekend is this evening. Number 8, Oklahoma, hosting number 9, Alabama. 5 o'clock kick on ABC and ESPN. The Sooners are 1.5-point favorites. Coverage on 910 ESPN Portland starts at 4:30. Then tomorrow, number 7, Texas A&M. They are 3.5-point favorites, hosting 10-seed Miami. That's a 9 a.m. kick on ABC and ESPN. Then at 12:30 on TNT and HBO Max, number 6, Ole Miss, hosting number 11, Tulane. The Rebels, 17.5-point favorites. We'll have coverage of both games on 910 ESPN Portland starting at 9 o'clock. And the Trailblazers off tonight after surviving a fourth-quarter collapse and beating the Kings in overtime. They're back at it tomorrow night in Sacramento to face those very same Kings. Portland now 11-16 on the season. That is good for 10th in the Western Conference. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
He's a hoe.
They got me all wet.
Who does number 2 work for?
Closing Arguments is next to send you on your way, and a happy holiday from me to you. But we'll finish up with the college football playoff. And Danny, I think this is the game I'm the most excited for this weekend. I mean, obviously we have a lot of work and effort put into this Oregon-James Madison game, so obviously I'll be glued to that game as it's going on. But I think the game of the weekend for me is Texas A&M in Miami. Cristobal at College Station in that environment. First of all, who's going to have the better environment? Norman, Oklahoma, or Kyle Field?
Kyle Field.
It's Kyle Field.
They're psychos, but they're going to have a better environment.
You see old Salty Saban came out and was like, it's really loud in there, plus they pump in crowd noise. They should do something about that. I was like, dude, that's the most... Saban, sometimes you say some really great stuff, and I love that you're still a part of football now that you're out of coaching, but you got some old man yelling at the cloud stuff.
They don't do that at Alabama.
I'm sure they don't. They don't have bag men at Alabama either. You pretty sure Kirby Smart was your bag man?
Yeah.
Because that guy ain't like passing Wonderlic tests with flying colors. But this is the game I'm the most excited for, and I think it's because I want to see how Elko's project has evolved. I want to see if they can take that step. These two teams both have a common opponent, and they both beat Notre Dame close. Obviously, Miami had Notre Dame at home. Texas A&M was on the road on a night game on the Peacock.
Both great games.
Both really great games, and I'm looking at Marcel Reed. I'm looking at Carson Beck. I'm looking at that Texas A&M defense. I'm looking at the Miami run defense. That's one of the best run defenses in the nation. Can Marcel Reed throw the ball on?
And Ruben Bain's an absolute terrorist.
Absolutely. There's so much fun to watch in this game, and I think a lot of it also revolves around kind of narratives. And a big narrative for me is, look, Mario Cristobal, not my kind of guy. Obviously a fantastic recruiter.
Too much testosterone for you?
I think so. I think it's just I can't warm up to him.
I'm surprised
I don't
you're not
want to
more
beer with him.
I'm surprised you're not more of a Nick Sirianni guy. A lot of water the plants and a little weird.
You know, I there's a part of me that does like a Nick Sirianni, but there's also a part of me that's kind of like, dude, you feel odd. Being weird is cool. Odd is a little tough.
I tell you right now, as far as things that aren't weird, Miami has to love that they got this matchup and they're going to Texas A&M because the weather's going to be around 70 degrees.
That's a nice.
You look around the rest of Ole Miss is going to be 63, but you look at the rest of these games.
Oregon's going to be 44.
And just craptacular. The other bowl games, I mean.
What's Oklahoma tonight?
Oh, God.
Probably not super warm.
Where'd it go?
Probably not super cold.
Why is it not showing? There it is. Actually, 54.
That's kind of chilly for Oklahoma.
I mean, they can get some snow and stuff too, but a little surprising. But you just kind of looking around the country at some of these other games, I was like, man, 67. You're looking at Montana State's in the 30s.
I'm stoked. I actually might watch that game.
Louisville Toledo's. It's the Boca Raton Bowl. It's 79.
What do you think 11 a.m. on Monday in Boise is going to be like? Not great. Don't get me started on that. But I think the biggest thing for this game that comes to me is Mario Cristobal. Look, if Elko loses this game, I still believe in what he's doing at Texas A&M.
Sure.
I still think that they are on the right path to finally get that fan base to where they think they should be, even though they have never been there in my entire life. Dude, you have to understand that when someone tells me that Texas A&M is a blue blood of college football, that is one of the most confusing statements I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's a cult.
Because they've never been good in my entire life. Outside of Johnny Manziel winning a Heisman, I can't tell you the last time Texas A&M was worth a damn for me. And so I'm not worried if someone loses this game, but my question is what does Cristobal got to do to change the narrative? What does Cristobal got to do to get guys like me, who aren't an Oregon Duck fan, so I'm not hurt by his exit.
Win this game because these are the games that he drops.
Yeah, but is it win this game?
It does.
Or does he got to win this game and Ohio State?
Well, he's got to win at least this game. Otherwise, where he lands is James Franklin South.
He kind of does.
Really good coach. Really good recruiter.
Yep. James Franklin, they won a playoff game last year. They won a playoff game last year and then lost when it came to a big boy.
So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
And if you want to roll it back to the Ducks are going to handle JMU, but they need to take care of Texas Tech.
You think they need to?
Yes.
I think we might be underselling Texas Tech a little bit.
Well,
I don't love them offensively,
I'm not underselling
I
Texas
love
Tech.
them defensively.
I'm saying from an Oregon standpoint.
Yeah.
Because what have they done under Lanning when in the biggest moments? been really good.
It's 50-50, if we're being honest.
Is it?
Yeah. I think going into Penn State and winning is a big game.
Okay, there's one.
Okay, and losing to Georgia in Georgia by an ass whooping, that's big.
Okay,
so that's even.
All of the UW games.
Winning at home against Ohio State is a big win.
Okay.
Losing in winning the Big Ten title game against Penn State is a big win. Losing to Ohio State in the playoff, I think Lanning is 50-50 right now.
I don't think.
I think he's way better record than Cristobal.
You just left out 3 UW games.
No, I understand that. Like
in the biggest of moments, their record is not good.
Under the Lanning era, they are still looking for some more big wins, but they have some under their belt.
They have a couple, but
and that's more than Mario does.
But that's the same with Franklin. Franklin had some.
I would argue Lanning's already got more than Franklin.
Does he have a college football playoff win?
No.
Okay. Franklin had one last year.
Okay, but this.
But again,
I hear you.
I'm not saying he's there. I'm saying for Oregon to go.
Who's still employed?
Oh, I know, but that's
and
that's what I'm saying in the sense of like how this stuff goes.
But are you going to come?
Lanning's not going anywhere.
But are you going to come at me with Lanning gets his college football playoff win, but it was against James Madison?
Oh no, I'm
because Franklin's is against Boise State.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so I don't want to hear that.
No, my point being is like that's how you alleviate that pressure. That the Franklins and the Cristobals of the world, where Elko, he has time.
He has time.
Lanning is a little bit further ahead.
I think Lanning still has time.
Oh no, he still has time. But I'm saying he's further ahead.
Oh, I don't mean in the sense of like him getting fired.
No, God, no.
I don't mean that. I just think the Helfrich Taggart Cristobal situation maybe put Oregon in a spot worse than they kind of realized when Lanning took over, and I think Lanning in these 4 years has done an absolute phenomenal job.
Before Duck fans think I'm bashing Oregon, I'm not.
I don't think you are.
Lanning's phenomenal.
I just think Lanning is a lot further ahead in progress than Cristobal is. With the same amount of time.
I think so too.
With the same amount of time and a similar amount of resources and doing things similarly. Cristobal's really worked on that defense.
And Cristobal's peed down his leg more times.
And he's bringing in quarterbacks that are surefire, similar to what Lanning has done in Oregon, in Bo, Dylan, and Dante.
Yes. Where at Miami, it's now Cam and now Carson.
Right, exactly.
So it seems to be working pretty well.
It really does.
Getting those high-end transfer quarterbacks,
it's kind of nice.
It's like that's what we were talking about. You know, this transfer class not being as good. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like,
the kid from Cincinnati is nice. One name that I'm surprised Darian Mensah's going back to Duke.
Yeah,
that's a big surprise for me.
Not going to the NFL and staying at Duke.
Well, Manny Diaz decided to stay there. There was always the flirt with Penn State. I'm sure.
Speaking of coaches that have,
as the dominoes have fallen, that's somebody who could have jumped for another job. So maybe Mensah staying at Duke means something good for Duke that I don't know because I only watch Cal and Stanford in the ACC.
Well, I'll ask you this as it pertains to like coaches and programs and where things are. I agree with you. The A&M Miami game is the best game of the weekend as far as like framing and all those kind of things and what it means for particular programs. Let's say the Ducks handled JMU, and they should. But let's say Texas Tech knocks off Oregon. How do you think we're going to react to that coming on Monday?
I bet you I sit here and tell you that Texas Tech has the best linebacking core in the nation.
But are you starting to look at it in a little bit different lens of?
What I've been trying to do over the last few weeks, thinking about Oregon, and even if they are to lose to JMU this weekend, which I really don't.
Oh no, if they lose to JMU,
well, that's
a bigger problem.
That'll be a whole different conversation. But I keep harking back to the concept that we had no idea what this team was going to be this year. And after
you don't get to have it both ways. And and Danny Cannell, we had on Wednesday, was like, I think they can go all the way.
I think they can too. I think they have the talent. Do I think they will? That's a different question.
But here's the thing. If you're saying that and they lose to Tech, what is that? Is that a disappointment? If you think they can go all the way and lose to Tech, that is a disappointment.
I think it's a disappointment in the sense that, yes, we started the year not knowing what this team is.
Meanwhile, Miami on the other side.
There's a difference, too, between saying I think they can go all the way and I expect them to.
Correct. I think that's what it is. It's like, I agree that you can't have your cake and eat it, too. You can't have it both ways. But I do remember that I didn't know what this team would be like. Now, along the way, after they blow the doors off their non-conference opponents, go into Penn State and win a big game at the time, a big game. Beating Iowa on the road,
good win.
Big game. Beating USC at home, good win. The loss to Indiana, they're the number one team in the nation.
Yes.
You lost at home, which is a little surprising, number one team in the nation. You start to believe. And I think if you are to lose to Texas Tech, it does hit you in the face because you feel like you got duped. You feel like, well, we should have won that game. And I think my question would be, well, should you have?
But that does feel a little.
Because 8 weeks ago, we didn't know what this team was.
On the flip side of this, though, is you have Miami. First, 4 or 5 weeks of the season, what did we say Miami was?
We call them the best team in the nation. We call them number 1 in the nation, and Carson, the vampire, was going to win a Heisman Trophy.
And it's kind of funny that as far as narratives go, they've ebbed and flowed with both those teams.
Carson's really struggled.
Like if Miami, even though they're the higher seed, if Miami loses to A&M, is it a disappointment?
No, I think they're even. I think they just happen to be seeded that way.
But if you're Miami and you're looking at it and Cristobal loses a college football playoff game.
Miami loses their ass way harder than A&M. And A&M's the higher ranked. Oh, I see what you're saying.
See what
there.
I mean? Like as
Without
far
a
as
doubt.
the stories are kind of ebbing and flowing throughout the season versus expectations at the beginning of the season, where they are right now, and what's considered a disappointment.
You also add on to the fact that Miami gets in by the hair of their chinny chin due to some other people losing. And you also sit on the note of the ACC being an absolute debacle in getting into the conference championship.
Because if they go out there and get smacked around by A&M,
if they get
everybody's
lit,
going to look at ACC and go, well.
If they get lit by A&M, it's not just the ACC. I think the pressure comes on Cristobal hard.
Yeah.
I really do.
And also,
I don't think they'll fire him because he's their guy. They'll give him some more runway. But I think the noise is going to be loud.
That's kind of what I was going to do.
Take the Michigan job? Is that what you're saying?
I could see him there.
Take the Michigan job?
Tell me you can't see Mario Cristobal Michigan.
Oh, yeah, he's a Michigan guy.
That maize and blue.
But what coach left his alma mater, though?
In a size medium.
What coach left their alma mater, though?
I mean,
none of them did, really.
I mean, Brom did.
But he went back.
He came back.
I'm talking about recently. Everyone decided to stay. That's alum.
Dilly might.
I think Dilly's
there. He hasn't signed it yet.
Yeah, he stays.
He's been. That story's been out for a week now.
Dude, Kenny Dillingham.
It was Friday. It was Friday that we heard about the extension talks.
Kenny Dillingham at ASU is the Mark Few at Gonzaga.
Oh, I agree.
Be a king there forever.
Doesn't it feel a little weird? Doesn't it
does.
feel just a little weird?
It feels a little weird. All right, we come back. Closing arguments send you on your way. The Firm, 105.1 The Fan.
The firm of Harris and Marang is wrapping up for the day.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
Which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth!
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth!
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. From a personal level, I hope you all have a safe and happy holiday. As I will be gone till the 29th, so I'll leave you in good hands with my co-host here, Danny Marang, on Mondays and Tuesday next week.
Well, at least hands.
At least hands, yeah. And I hope everybody has a safe and happy and pleasant holiday. Never forget to take care of those that can't take care of themselves. And I hope whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or just a Thursday, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.
Enjoy.
See, look at me. Man of the people.
Mm.
When I come back on the 29th, the Charlie Brown Christmas tree will no longer be here.
Why not? Are you taking it with you?
I'll leave it here over the break. But after Christmas, I'll take it down.
Once I'm saying you'll be here on the 29th.
It will be.
It'll be here.
When I come back on the 29th, though, in the morning, I will take it down.
Got to make sure we have our, what do they call it in the movies? The continuity?
Mm-hmm.
Like a Starbucks cup that appeared in Game of Thrones?
I will also have our banner from Army Navy.
Ah, we got it shipped out, huh? Old Danny Diaz?
It'll show up on Wednesday.
Nice.
It'll show up on Christmas
One
Eve.
of the few things we have hanging in the studio is a signed flag from the PGA Tour, I think a John Daly picture, and then Dusty and I's banner from Army Navy last year.
Don't forget the sexy hammerman over there that says "Love Dusty."
Yeah. There's not much.
We could get some more lively decoration
Well,
in
the
here.
problem is, as cool as this room is, we can't, everything has to be put up with magnets.
I know, but even that, I tried
metal.
to magnet my little show sheet papers on the wall.
You
got
gotta have it's got to be like a heavy magnet.
An industrial. Maybe I'll ask Santa Claus for that.
Some industrial magnets.
I'm gonna see my in-laws, my specific in-laws, my wife's father. I'm gonna see him 5 times in the next 6 days.
Thankfully, he likes sports.
Ish.
Yeah, he doesn't let you have him on.
Ish. He's gonna let me watch sports at his house tomorrow.
No,
that's great. NFL.
Hey, Dad, can I watch TV?
Don't ever call me dad again. Is probably his response to me. But Dad, Christian McCaffrey's the greatest ever. Remember when he played at Stanford?
Yeah. Hey, want to watch that Niners game? Find some other Stanford player on the roster.
So we'll see. My kids are gonna have a great Christmas too. I think we really nailed it this year. Same
there you
with
go.
my wife. I think we nailed it. All right, that's gonna do it for us. Merry Christmas, amigo.
Merry Christmas, brother.
And
Enjoy.
I will see you on the other side. Good luck on your surgery.
Thank you. That's right. We won't see each other for 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks, yeah. Rusty, thank you as always, buddy. You and yours, the Rust family, we give our best from the Harris residence. For Danny Marang, that's Jeff Rust. I'm Patrick Harris. Happy holidays. Go do something I would do.
Bye.